Welcome back to the new video in Smartsheet. In this video, we'll see the first step of creating an account in Smartsheet. Now, Smartsheet is not a desktop application. It is a web-based application. You can open this Smartsheet application from any device and any browser. It can be Google Chrome, it can be Mozilla Firefox or Edge. Now, to create an account, let us see what are the steps. First thing, I went to Google over here and I can just type here as Smartsheet. When you enter Smartsheet, the first link will be the official link smartsheet.com, www.smartsheet.com, and I can click on that link. Now here, if you see, that's a home screen of the account where they sell the products, they give some information and many things. Now, if you already have an account, you can click on this login button. Even if you do not have an account, you can still click on login button over here. Now, there are many methods to log into Smartsheet if you have an account. What are the methods? First thing, enter email address and password. That's the first thing here. If you do not remember your email address and password and you want to sign in, if you want to log in via some other accounts, you can use these three options: Google, Microsoft and Apple. Now, since I'm doing for the first time and if I don't have an account, I can select the last option, don't have a login and sign up. So if you click on this link and then again you can enter email address, password and then you can sign up. Since I already have an account, I can just click on this already have an account and I can sign in via Google account. So I can just click on Google. Now these are all the email IDs which I have logged in. This will be hidden at the backend. Now I can just select one email ID which I will log in to the Smartsheet account. Now here, that's a home screen. That's a welcome screen for the Smartsheet. Now you can see there are many different options, and the best part about Smartsheet is it is lightweight. You can open any application. It doesn't take time to load up. Now here, if you see, that's a first screen which is completely blank because we have not seen how to create a sheet, how to create a calendar view or a project view. So it's very simple here. Now at the bottom left hand side corner, you can see there's a name P given here, and this will tell me which account I have logged in. So if I want to log out, I can just click on this sign out button and it will log out from that particular account. So that's it. This was a very simple and easy method to create an account or log into a Smartsheet account. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now, before actually jumping to creating sheets and jumping into the project part, what we can do is we'll get familiar with the user interface, which is a home screen of Smartsheet. There are various features you need to understand before we jump into the practical part. Now, let us see that one by one. Now, before we started recording, before I started creating the course, I have already signed up many days back. So you can see on the top, I have 24 days left. That means the trial period which you get is for 30 days. Within 30 days, it will get expired. So this was created 6 days back. If you like the tool and if you want to upgrade to next version, you can just click on upgrade and see the different plans they have. Number one. Now on the left hand side, if you see there's a small ribbon over here, which is a vertical bar. Now this is a very interesting bar, which will be common in all the places when you create a sheet, when you create a project, anywhere. So let us understand what are the features available. So first one is the home, which will show you all the features, all the recent items, all the requests which you get it. You can see over here. Now you can see that's a 24 days left. On the right hand side, you can see when you click on create button, if I click on create button, it gives you many options to create. First option, you can create a grid view, a project view, card, report, dashboard, and many more things. Now what are those? We'll see in detail one by one. But here on the right hand side, that was a create button. When you click on create button, your cursor will be jumping on this left hand side place. You can see here, we were on this home button. And when I clicked on this create button, that's a plus button. Same plus button is given over here. So remember this option here. So if I click on plus, it will come here. Next one, we have one option given as notification. Suppose someone is assigning some task or some notification has been published. So that notification, you can get it here. Now consider this notification exactly same like your Facebook account. Whenever a person likes your photo or post a comment, you get a notification here. Same way in that spreadsheet, if someone has assigned a task or if has given some mention in the conversation, you can see the notifications part. Then on the left hand side, we have a browse button. It's like your folder, it's like your file explorer in your desktop, where you can see all the recent files. You can see all of the sheets, the workspaces, the resources, and all this. They are properly arranged in a manner so that you can see one by one. Now, for example, if I see the workspaces, I have the team names given here. I have created separate workspace, which we'll cover in detail. Later on, if you see the recent option, recently opened workbook will be visible in this window. whatever workbooks you have opened and you don't remember the name, you can just browse over here and see the data. Next one, you can bookmark any sheet and make it as favorite. So it would be easy for anyone to quickly come to the favorite option and you can come back here. Okay, so that's a favorite tab, very interesting part. The plus sign we have seen for creating different type of options like sheets, like card and the project view. Next one, if you see there's a launcher option where you can go to the solution center or also you can go for the work apps. That's one more topic we'll see in detail. The later option is the help. Remember, after the training gets completed, if you need any guidance, you can always go to this place. Help and learning, contact us and these options. If you're an official customer for the Smartsheet, you can directly contact them and get the inputs, get the solutions from there. If you're not just a learner, you have to go to this help and learning and explore the options by yourself. The last option, if you see at the bottom, is the login name. Which account I have logged in, I'll be getting the name and here some other details which will be mostly available to the admin person. Creating account, creating users, creating groups and so on. So all these ribbon features will be available every time with every different view. So when you click on the home screen view, on the right hand side, if you see that's an option given here. This option is for giving a feedback to the Smartsheet employees. How did you like the Smartsheet tool? So when you click on this link, it will open a separate browser and it will ask you for giving the feedback. How did you like the Smartsheet tool? Do you want to add some details? So you can see all the details you can give them. So you can give the ratings and you understand. So enter the area, your name, organization, ease of use, how the features are performing, everything in detail. So this feedback would be submitted. So if you are a customer and if you want to enhance these features, you can always make a request to Smartsheet company. So that's a very basic user interface of the Smartsheet tool what we have seen, and I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we'll see how to create a new grid view and also how do we understand the user interface of this grid view. Let us see that. The first thing on the left hand side, if you see there's a plus button where you can create different type of options inside Smartsheet. First one, if you see, when I click on this grid view and if I click on create, here I can see the option grid, project, cards, task list, dashboard and the report here. So the first one, the basic thing, what is this one is grid. So I can click on this grid option and here I can write as some email, some name of this sheet. So I can write as email. So I can write as email campaign report and I can just click on OK. The moment I click on OK, a grid view opens. Now this view is similar to your Excel. The Excel is a desktop application, but this one Smartsheet is an online application. You can open on any browser inside your machine. Now, let us understand the user interface. What I've created is email campaign report. That's a name on the top. If you want, you can just click and rename that thing. That's very easy. Next one, if you want, you can make this option as a favorite. The moment I click on this favorite option, this report will become favorite and you can see that favorite report on the left hand side. When I click over here, you can see the email campaign report. If I deselect, if I remove from the favorite option, here it will disappear. So favorite is the top option. Now, this window on the left hand side will be common always for different type of project you work. Next one, if you see there are three menu bars, file menu bar, automation and form. In simple language, if I say the automation menu bar would be important where you don't need any person physically present in your office. The entire workflow can be automated. We have a detailed topic for this one. The next one is the forms option where it's a user interface which can be allowed to take the inputs from the end user. It can be client, it can be customer, anyone. The file menu bar, if you observe, is used for creating a new sheet, creating a grid option, import, export, save and many more options here. Next one, we have a toolbar over here. If you see, that's a simple toolbar which is given, which allows us to do many options. Some one are related to feature, some things are related to cosmetic. For example, these features are related to cosmetic, bold, italic, underline. Then there are some alignment options. The other options which you can see, these are feature related options. Like I have the grid view, Gantt chart, and then there's a card view and the calendar view. Different options you can see. Along with that, on the right hand side, you can see some more options would be visible in the same toolbar here. Now, what I can do is, on the left hand side, if you see again, now these are the menu bars. So the first column, if you see, that's a primary column, which is the primary key, which has to be there just to identify the unique records in your data set. The other columns are not mandatory, but you can customize those columns. So the first column would be primary column over here. Now here is the data where you can enter data as per a requirement and you can keep on appending for the project purpose. On the right hand side, you can see there are still some more options available. We'll be exploring these options in detail. Just to give an idea, the first option, if you see, it's a conversation. If you want to communicate with your end user, with your colleague, you don't have to send a WhatsApp message. You don't have to send an email. You can simply click on conversation and you can tag that person. The person will get a notification. Second option, if you see, there's an attachment. If you want to attach some documents, you can do that. The third option is again the proof related to particular row. If you want to do an attachments, you can use that one. The next one, if you see, that's a request. If you want to create a request for some person so that some cells should be modified, some records should be modified. So here you can update the request or you can send a request option there. The other options, if you see, that's a request option. Here, if you see, what is the activity log? Whatever things you do in this particular sheet will be getting recorded. So here, if you see, I have created a sheet on that particular date and time and by this person. So all the activities can be monitored and it can be stored as a history for you at the backend. And now similar to that, some more other options are also available. So it's a very simple user interface. Now, if you do not want to see this top option and if you do not want to see this grid, and if you just want to focus on the grid view, which is available here, you can make it as full screen. Here, if you see, that's a full screen option and you see the left hand side vertical bar has gone away. The top option, which was giving a warning that how many days of trial version is left, that has also gone away. But still, if you need more space to work on, you don't need this URL option and the tabs. You can click on this three dots on your browser and here you can see that's a full screen option. When I click on this full screen option, now the whole screen is occupied by this particular grid view here. And if you want to come back, press escape from a keyboard and here you can come back, or I can just click on this close button on the top and it will come back here. So that's very simple and easy method of this grid view. And I hope you have understood how to work on this grid view as a user interface. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now, after understanding the user interface of Smartsheet, let us see how do we work with columns, how do we work with structure of your sheet. The 5 things we'll learn in this video. First one, modify an existing column, inserting a new column, deleting a column, shifting the column position from here and there, and lastly, we'll see how to rename a column. Let us see that one by one. Now, here is the same sheet which I've left in the previous video, and these are already columns which are given. The first column, as mentioned, is a primary column which has to be there, which has to be unique value. It cannot be duplicate value and it is mandatory over here. Suppose if I want to modify the name, I can simply double click on the column heading and I'll get a dialog box. This dialog box will ask me the name. So edit column properties and I can write the name as, let's say, task, and I can click on OK. Now, by the way, what are we trying to achieve? We are starting an email campaign. We are doing a marketing for a company named as TechnoEdge Learning Services. For that company, we want to do an email campaign, email marketing. So we are trying to create a project plan and similar data will be filling in this sheet over here. So what is the first step? What is the second step? All this project plan will be mentioned here. So we have a task option. So I can just double click, rename this as category. Now, when I give the name as category, what is the column data type you want? Is it a text? Is it a number or date? Anything. So I'll say this would be a drop down, which is a single select value. For time being, I can say, or let's keep it as text and number. Click on OK. Third option I can give as status and I can click on OK. Then the next option I can give as start date and click on OK. The next column I can write as finished. Next column I can write as finish. And the last column I can write as assigned to. Okay, assigned to here. So these are already given columns by default. I have just given the name to that columns, nothing else. Now, suppose if I want to shift the column from one place to another place, let's say this task column, I can just drag and drop it here. So I can quickly change the position. It's very simple. Pick up that and you can drag and drop it anywhere. So like this, I can shift it anywhere. So I can pick up here. Now this was moving the position. Suppose if I want to rename this column heading, simply double click on the column heading and you can rename that. That's very easy here. Next one. Suppose if I need one more column, a supporting column, how do I insert it? For inserting a column, you can see whenever you keep your cursor on any column, there are 3 dots which will give you some more options. I can click on this column menu option and I can just click on insert column left. Insert column left will create a column before this insert column right will create a column after this. So I'll say I want to create an insert column left. And here it will ask me what is the name of the new column you want to mention. So I can write the name as flag. So flag, and I can just click on OK button. So you see there's a column given as flag which is mentioned here. Now same way, if I want to insert a column on the right hand side, I can click on this option here. Now suppose if this flag column was created by mistake, and if I want to delete that column, it's very simple. Click on this column menu option, and here we have the delete column option here. So you see that column has been deleted from the place here. Now on the left hand side, if you see there's a first column which is having some icons. If you are an Outlook user, Microsoft Outlook user, you might understand these options here. For every row, you can do an attachment. You can add an attachment. So that's a menu for this one, attachment. Same way, the same row, you can also have a conversation with your colleague or a client at the same place. You don't have to send an email separately. You can just click over here and you can start using a conversation. That's same thing here. The next option, we have the alerts option. Suppose if you want to have a notification or an alert on that particular record, you can get it. So this will be the side options which will be helping you always. Now, on the left hand side, if you see, these are the row numbers. Maximum row numbers at the first time you'll be having 50. If I scroll down at the bottom, and you can see the maximum number of rows will be visible as 50 here. So if I can scroll up on the top. So these are the 5 options we have learned in this video: how to modify existing column, create a new column, rename, delete, and move the position of the column. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we'll see how to work with data type of a column. Now when we have created the columns, we have not assigned any data type. Now there are different data types available in Smartsheet. For example, we have a date data type, text, number, and then there's a contact data type and many more. Let us see that one by one. So these are already columns which you have created in the previous video. So the first one, if you see, there's a category. So I want such that the person should not enter the data. The person should select from the drop down. There are various categories available. So here, because see, while typing, some people might make a mistake. So I want to avoid that mistake, give them a drop down and they can select from that particular category. So same like what you create in Excel. So to create a drop down, I can just double click over here and you see the text or number, anybody can type anything. That's what you call text number. But I want a person to select the data from that drop down. So this option I've selected, but what is the data in that drop down? So this is empty given here. So what I'll do is I'll write something, let's say as category can be email, then there would be video, and there would be star. And here I can just click on OK button. So you see when the person clicks on this, when I click on this place, if I cancel here, now when I click on this cell particular here, I'll be getting a single value drop down where 3 options are available: email, video, and star. So I don't have to type it. Okay, I can just select from this drop down and find out the answer. So I can select the email option and email is visible. Now there is one option. Suppose a person double clicks and he writes by mistake as email to, enter. So email to is not the right word, which is still accepted. This kind of mistakes will be problematic in the future when we create a dashboard. So you have to be careful in the first stage itself. What you have to do is double click on the column heading and you tell them restrict to drop down values only. Don't allow the end users to enter data. So I have to select this checkbox and then click on OK button and click on OK. So now when I double click and enter, or when I just type as email 23, enter. So I'll be getting a message that you're not allowed to enter invalid data. So I can click on cancel. And from this drop down, I will select the right data, which is email. So you can restrict users from entering the wrong data. It's called as data validation in Excel. Same thing over here. So I can just double click. Now this list is just random list which I've prepared. I will give you the actual list which has to be fed. So I can just go back here. I can open this input data, copy this data, Control C from my keyboard, and in the Smartsheet, I can delete this one and paste the list. Now I can just click on OK button here, right, and click on OK. So from this drop down, if you see, I have list of all the options which I already created in Excel and I just want to use it here. So analyze, audit, campaign strategy, then we have kickoff, launch, summary, and track. Many options are there. Same way, the status option, I want to give the status as incomplete, complete, progress, or something like that. So first thing what I can do is double click. I can click on drop down, which is a single list. I can go back to the Excel, and these are the 4 status which I've written here. The first one, not started, in progress, complete and blocked. So let me select the data, Control C from my keyboard, and here I can paste Control V, click on OK button here. So this will be a drop down list available for the end user. So I can click here, and these are the 4 status which a person can see. Right, these are the 4 options. Now same way, task, I'll keep it empty, I'll keep it as text or number, anybody can enter anything. The next one, which I have a start. Start is nothing but a date. It should be a start date option. Whenever a person enters a data, it should always be a date. It should not be text or number. So I can double click on the heading and I can select the option date. So when I click on OK button, and now when I try to enter some data, or if I try to feed some data, I'll get a calendar icon. Okay, so I can select some date and that date is added here. Same way, I can just click on finish, select the date option and then click on OK. That's it. So I can get a calendar icon over here, restricting users to enter invalid data. Because if you keep it open, the person might enter data in any format, DDMM format, MMDD format, or it can be MMM format, anything. So there's a confusion which comes. So better is you give them a drop down, the calendar icon, anybody can choose. Next one, if I assign a task, okay, if I give some details over here, that task has to be assigned to relevant person. So what I can do is, you see there's an assign to option. So I can just double click on assign to, and here this assign to column, I will select the option as contact list. From my contact list, I can assign a task to any person. So here if you see, I can enter a name. Let me write as ajinkya.d at technoedgels.com, and I can just feed here. Okay, so this is the name and I can click on OK. So now what will happen is, from this drop down, I don't have to type the email address. I can directly select the name of the person. So when I select the name of the person, an email would be shoot up to that person saying that the email has been, or the task has been assigned to so and so person. So now it also gives me an option that do you want to enable the automation feature? Right now we are just learning. We are not going into that detail, but very soon we can enable this feature. So I'll just click on not right now. So this way I can keep on adding the details over here. So let us revise. What we have done is, we have just given the data type to all the columns. We copied the data from the Excel sheet. These are the status and the category, and assigned to this particular drop down in this place when I double click. So all these options are available. There are some more different data types which we'll be exploring very soon in the coming section itself. So for time being, I hope you have understood what are the different data types and how do we use in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we'll see how to feed the data in the grid view. Now in the previous section, in the previous videos, we have seen the data type, we have seen the column things, and now we'll see how to enter the data in this particular grid view. We are coming to more detail level here. Now, as I said, this would be an email campaign marketing tool, okay, where we are doing a project plan. What has to be in stage 1, what has to be in stage 2, and so on. We have to bring all people together with the help of this Smartsheet tool. The data is already present inside Microsoft Excel, but the problem with Excel is I have to attach this Excel in the Outlook and then send an email. So this email keeps on going everywhere, round and round. But if I want to bring everyone together using a collaborative tool, I can use this Smartsheet option. So let us begin. First thing, feeding data here. So what I can do is, I'm just starting a project over here. I'll give the heading as project plan. So project plan over here. Now after the project plan, what I can do is, I want to have a kickoff meeting. To begin with, there should be a kickoff meeting, kickoff. And then later on, let's say the campaign is approved, then the meeting could be scheduled. So I can write here as campaign approved. So campaign approved. So this approved campaign would be a part of, let's say, the kickoff meeting here. And let's say the status is already complete. Because this has been done in the previous, so I've given the status as complete. The category belongs to kickoff. And let's say the start date I want to mention as 30th of June. Okay, for example, 30th of June. And obviously the campaign approval won't take more time. It will just finish in one day. So I'll say in the same date on 30th of June, the campaign was done. And this task has to be assigned for campaign approval to, I'll assign to ajinkya.d, and he'll be taking care of this particular task. So this way I can keep on adding all the details. Now we already have prepared this project plan inside Microsoft Excel. Let me show you that data. Here is the entire project plan. So this data, it's difficult to share. We have to attach this document in email and send. I want to avoid that. The same plan I can just copy paste into this Smartsheet. I can write it manually, or what I can do is I can copy this entire thing from top to bottom, or maybe like this. So I can press Ctrl C from my keyboard, copy, and I can go to this Smartsheet option and I can just keep my cursor here, press Ctrl V from my keyboard. So Ctrl V, or you can just also right click and paste the entire data. Let me copy it again. So that's the copy option, and here I can just come back and paste. Maybe I can select this row, and once I paste, you can see the data is completely pasted over here. Now the thing is, as it is the data, because it was structured in a proper manner, so you see the status complete, in progress, not started. These are the same status which I've added here. And now this tool is not that collaborative today. But yes, obviously, if we use Office 365 account, then it becomes more collaborative. Smartsheet is more of a project management, more of a creating a dashboard. Everything can be done collaboratively. So now you see the dates have been entered into date, start date and finish date. We have assigned this task to many people across the world, and these are the category and status option. Now, one thing is missing over here. What is that thing? Suppose in this particular place, that's a campaign approved. So if I want to attach something over here, let's say a document, whatever we have discussed, we usually document that thing in a Word document or a PDF document. Now that document thing, which is called as minutes of meeting, has to be attached over here. So what I can do is I can just click on this plus sign. This plus sign will be an attachment document. I can click on this link. And on the right hand side, if you see attach files to row number 3. And now the attachment can come from any place. It can be from your desktop, Google Drive, Dropbox, OneDrive, anything. Currently, I have the data kept on my desktop. So I can just click on upload a file, and from here, I can just go to my desktop. Right. So I can pick up here in the Smartsheet. Here we have the attachments. So that was a resource planning which we have done. That was a meeting, and I'm just attaching this PDF document, which is 704 KB, and I can just click on open. Now, whenever a meeting happens, whenever the person is watching this one, they can just take care of this attachment, which is a PDF file. Now on the right hand side, you can see the details about that PDF file, when the person has uploaded, who has uploaded, and what is the name of that particular file. So I've attached this document to this particular row. However, if you want to attach the document to the entire sheet, so that everyone who's related to this project should be able to see the data. So I can click on sheet and I can attach files to a sheet, upload file, and here I can pick up the same file, resource planning, click on open button here. Now this PDF would be available, visible to everyone who has the access to sheet. Maybe it's a viewer access or editor access, any access. So you see that is a sheet which a person would be able to see. So this was the details. What we have done is we have seen how to feed a data manually, how to feed the data by copy pasting. But now there's one problem which we will be solving in the next video. The problem here is, if you see that's a project plan, there's an indent which is kickoff, and these are the child options related to that kickoff meeting. Same way, if you see we have the testing options, then these are the child options which are the child tasks which I can say, and same with this one. But here in the Smartsheet, if you see, they don't have the indent. There's no hierarchy created. So we'll be able to learn about the hierarchy in the next video, how to create one hierarchy or multiple hierarchies. So for time being, I hope you have understood how to feed data manually and by automated method, that's a copy paste method inside Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to create a hierarchy in rows. Now, when you have the data, when we have copy pasted the data, you can see on my screen how the data looks like. Now, actually, there are some hierarchies which has to be created. For example, here if you observe, the project plan is the main parent hierarchy in which there are subcategories available. You can see that's a kickoff and that's a testing and audience. Then we have develop. Whatever is written in the capital letters, these are the main, I can say, are the sub coordinates or subcategories. Below that, there will be some child requirements. Let me explain you properly. Here in the Excel sheet, carefully observe, this is the actual plan created in Microsoft Excel. Now in Excel, we have a feature named as group. With the help of group, you can group all these items or some of the rows into one particular group here. So carefully observe the project plan and kickoff. They are highlighted in the blue color background so that you understand it's a parent one, and below options which are highlighted, these are some smaller tasks which you can say. Same way, testing, develop, and these are some other tasks which are the main categories here. So how do I define this kind of categories? Carefully observe, after the project plan, there's a small space available there that you can call as tabs or indent. Same way, there's again some space which is telling us these are child items here. So now let us see how do we create the indent and outdent inside the Smartsheet. Let us see that. So carefully observe, these are two options available for indent and outdent. Here if you observe, this is the first option which is given, the outdent, and this one is given as indent. Now what I can do is, I can select this first of all the options till the bottom here, and I can just select the option as indent. So that will be shifted on the right hand side. Here if you observe, it has shifted. Now coming back on the top, I can select this campaign and some other cases. Carefully observe, the capital letters which are written are purposely the headings, these capital letters, and these are the child items. So selected those child items and I can create a indent over here. Carefully observe, there's a minus button and there's a minus button telling us this is the parent and the other one are children here. So let me expand that option again. Same way, what I can do is, I can select all the items at the bottom. This way I can select and then click on this indent option. So this is the phase, I can say, or a milestone which a person has to cross before going to the next step here. Same way I can select this one and I can select this indent, and you see I'm just creating hierarchies. I repeat, select this data, whatever data you have, and then click on this indent option. This way I have to keep on doing the options. And finally, the last one, you can see I have just made it as indent option here, and I can just click on minimize. So now this way a hierarchy is created. It's a proper way of presentation of your data, okay, or project plan. Now if you compare with this Excel sheet over here, and now when I click on 4 option in this place, or let's say if I click on 1 option, I'll get the main parent hierarchy, which is a project plan. The second one, if I click on 2, I'll be getting the sub task over here. You can see kickoff, testing, and so on. So when I come back over here, you can see kickoff, testing. All things are written in the capital letters. Coming back to this place, if I click on the third level, if I click on this option over here, it gets expanded. Okay. So same way, if I go back here, now if I want to expand one of them, I can click on plus sign. I can click on plus sign. But if I want to expand all the different items which are available, I can just simply right click on the column heading, and there's an option given as expand all and collapse all. So I'll select the option expand all, and all the items, all the tasks would be expanded and it would be visible here. Okay. So that's a very simple and easy method. So this is the way by which you can create the hierarchies inside rows in Smartsheet. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to give a auto numbering to your records. Auto numbering to every task, every row into your Smartsheet. Now why it is required auto numbering, or why a unique ID number is required for every row? The reason I'll tell you. For example, this is the data which I have, and suppose by mistake if a person comes here and he has done the sorting in ascending or descending order, the whole structure of your data will be disturbed here. Carefully observe. We work based on this criteria. That's a kickoff meeting, then we have a campaign strategy, then the creative briefing. So there's a proper sequence in which the task has to be carried out. If I do a sorting, it might do the sorting in ascending or descending order. So this C will come on the top if I do the ascending order, and then if I do descending, K will come on the top. So it's not a good one. So what we need to do is, while creating every record, we should create a unique ID number, and that unique ID number should not be obviously repeated. How do we do that? When I click on this drop down and I can click on insert column left, I'll get this dialog box. Here what I can do is, I can enter here name, let's say as requirement number. And now the data type which I'll select is auto number / system. Now this data type, we'll have different options which are system generated columns. You don't have to enter. So one time you have to teach it, and the remaining it will automatically follow. So the first one example which I can show you is auto numbering. Here I can write as REQ as a prefix, and here I can type as number, which is optional. Now when you click on OK button, see what happens. A column would be generated, but nothing would be visible. So if you want to see that data, you have to press Ctrl S from a keyboard. The moment you press Ctrl S, you see every row will have a unique ID number, so that it won't be duplicate and you'll be able to understand. Now, if you delete this data and again if you save it, new numbers will come. It will not have the same number. Now this is when one person is preparing. Now imagine there are 5 people working in your team and every one is entering some data. You want to write down the name of the person who has last modified. Okay, suppose this one particular record has been modified by 3 people. So if you want to just notify who was the last person modified, So same thing, you can click on this drop down, insert column left, and then auto number system. And here if you see there's an option modified by. When you select modify by, you can see whoever modifies the record or the row or cell, his name or her name would be visible in that cell. So when I click on OK, and now when I press Control S stands for saving the file. And you see that's my email ID which has been entered. So I have done because I have only prepared it. Imagine if my colleague is entering some data, his email ID or his name would be visible over here. Same way, I can click on this insert column left, text auto number, and there are some other options created by. So the date and time also you can modify. So I can write as modified date, click on OK, and I can press Ctrl S from my keyboard, save. So you see at that particular time and date, the data was being stored into my Smartsheet over here. Okay. So I hope you have understood how to give a auto numbering, unique numbering, or notifying who has entered which data at what particular time. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see details related to contacts. We'll see 4 things in this video. How do we create a contact? How do we create a contact while entering the data? How do we edit a contact? And how do we delete a contact? These 4 things we'll see. Let us see one by one. The first step is when we are entering the data, how do we create a contact? Let us see that. So I have this data sheet. Let me scroll on the right hand side. And here if you see the last column which is assigned to, if I want to add some data over here, I can click on this drop down. Let me click on this drop down over here. And now here if you see, I can select the name which already I have added. I can select a name. But suppose if I want to create a new contact, okay, while entering the data. So here if you see there's an add new option. I can click on add new, enter the name of the person and the email ID. So I have the name of the person, let's say as Nikhil Shah. And here email ID is nikhil.shah at, right. So I've entered the name as Nikhil Shah and the email ID nikhil.shah@technoedgels.com. Click on OK. And you see the name, the contact information is added while entering the data. That is one method. Second method is if you want to add from scratch in the beginning itself, how do you do that? So for that right now it's a full screen. So let me come back from the full screen mode. And here on the left hand side, if you see the name, okay, here is the name option and carefully observe my Smartsheet contacts. From here, I can click on my Smartsheet contacts. And right now, if you see, there are 2 contacts which I added, Nikhil Shah and the Pavan Lalwani @gmail.com. So I can click on add button here and I can enter the other name over here. Okay, so that is one method where you can add. So I can write as tejas.kadam@technoedge. Right, so I've entered the name as Tejas and the email address I've entered. I can click on OK. So this contact is also added here from this left hand side place. So one is while entering the data. Second is from here, one by one contact if you want to add. That's one method. So I can click on close. Now these were 2 options. Now the third option is if you want to edit or delete a contact, how do we do that? Suppose if I have entered the wrong name of that person which I've entered, let's say Tejas. So I can click on this place, my Smartsheet contacts. And here if you observe, this is the Tejas name which is given. So there's a small button over here which is a small drop down. I can click on this drop down and there are 2 options. One is edit the contact and delete. So I can click on edit contact and I can just enter the name over here as Kadam and then click on OK button. So this name has been modified. Email address remains the same. I don't want to modify that. And the last one, we have the delete option. So I can click on this drop down and I can click on delete contact and that's it. So contact had been deleted from here. So this way we have seen 4 things. One is entering the contact while editing, creating contact from here at this place, what we have seen, edit and delete contact. These are 4 options. Now in the next video, we'll see some other advanced related features related to contacts. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now in this video, we'll see how to import the contacts from Excel sheet or from a Google account over here. What we have seen in the previous example was a good thing for a beginner. But obviously when you go for the advanced level, you cannot write one by one each email ID, one by one name. It's very lengthy process. What you need to do is you have to do a smart work. Write down the contacts in your Google sheet, okay, whichever you have the Google contacts, or you can also pick up from the Excel sheet which you have. So the first example I can show you how to import the data from your Google account. Let us see that. So first thing, I can just go to this place, my account, my Smartsheet contacts, and here we have the option as import contacts. 2 options we have right now. If you see 3 options. So the first one is Gmail. I'm connected to my Gmail account. Okay, so I can click on Gmail option, and here all my contacts are saved. All the professional contacts are saved. So I can click on this email ID which I have, and I can click on allow. I have to give the permission, and these are all the contacts which I have in my account. Okay, so now what I can do is, if I just want, let's say 5 contacts from this place, or 10 or 20, anything. So I can first of all deselect all, and I can select, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. These are 5 contacts I want. If I want something else, I can select. You see, you can keep on selecting some contacts here. If you think all the contacts are required, just click on this all contacts, and every contact in your Gmail account will be loaded here. So what I can do is, I can just click on import button, and all the contacts will be loaded here. You see, so many contacts in one click I've got it. It's very easy, very smooth process. That was first thing. Now second thing, then if you see, the contact would be visible here. Let me scroll on the right hand side. Now if I click on this drop down over here, and you can see, I can just click on this button over here, and I can see all the contacts. Let me select any one contact. I can select and click on OK. So that contact would be added over here. Okay, it's very easy and smooth process. Now suppose if you have separate team available, okay, it's a third party team, and you have their name and email ID, and you want to include that third party team into your project. So what you can do is, take that data and store into your Excel file. Let me show you the data here. Right. So that's the Excel file which I have, and there are some random contacts. If you see, the name is given and the email ID. Now remember, the name of the column should be name, and the name of the heading should be here as email. So these two things you have to remember. You can enter a full name as well. Right now I've entered email ID and full name. These are some dummy data which I have. Now the name of the file which I have is contacts. Let me close this file, and now I can bring this data inside Smartsheet. So first of all, let me expand it here. Click on this button, that is my account, my Smartsheet contacts, and here is the option. So bring the data from a CSV. You see, CSV from Outlook or Yahoo, anywhere you can bring. So let me click on CSV. I'll select the file which is kept onto my desktop somewhere. Let me pick up that Smartsheet contacts. Okay. So now once I pick up that file, I can just click on open button here. Now when I click on continue option, the contacts which I have, you see, these are the contacts which I had in that CSV file. Those contacts will be visible the same manner. Suppose if you're very choosy, if you have some criteria, don't pick up all of them, just pick up some of them. Same thing you can do. I can click on this all contacts, it will be deselected, and you can select some random contacts. Now if you click on import, those contacts also will be appended to your existing contacts in your Smartsheet. So you see, somewhere at the bottom you might get those contacts, somewhere at this place. You see, vihan@gmail.com and so on. Click on close. So this is very easy method of importing contacts so that you work on your project seamlessly and easily. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Now we have seen how to create a contact, how to import contacts from CSV and Google. Now in this video, we'll see how to export the contacts. Now suppose you're working on a project, we have 20 to 30 members, let's assume, and after the project gets wind up, you want to still store the data, or the data can be in the form of contacts, in the form of project, anything. So in this case, in this video, I'll be more specifically talking about how to export contacts into a CSV format. Let us see that. So I have some contacts over here, which you have seen how did I import. Same way, I can go back to that place. Let me come back to this. Yeah, I can click on this my account, my Smartsheet contacts, and here the next option we have export contacts. There's only one option available, export CSV format. Maybe in the newer version, we might get different options like Excel format or some JSON format, some other format we might get it. But today, as of now, when you're seeing the video, this format is nothing but .csv. Let me click on CSV format, and here if you see, one click and the CSV contacts are downloaded. So all the contacts which I had will be downloaded in one shot. Let me click and open and show you the data. Right. So you see, all these records, all these contacts are easily exported into CSV format. How many contacts are there? Let us see that. The total number of contacts I have, these are 90 contacts available. So you can use these contacts and put into mail merging or some other criteria. Let me close this dialog box and don't save. Okay, that's very easy. I hope you understood the point. How do we export the contacts into CSV from Smartsheet? That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to create a contact groups. Now imagine we have a team of, let's say, 100 people in your company for this particular project, and you have divided the task into different phases. For example, requirement gathering, then there's a design part, development, testing, and so on. Now, what you want to do is you want to create a small group of those people so that they can work together with same or similar skill set. But here in Smartsheet, I have to tell to Smartsheet that I have to assign those contacts to a particular group. But how do we create a group inside Smartsheet? Let us see that. So first thing, you can see on the left hand side, there's a logo option given here. That's my account. And here if you see, there's a group management option. In this group management option, on the top, if you see, there's a create group option. Group management, create group. I have already created some groups beforehand. If you see, that's a Pavan, Lalwani 0, TechnoEdge and TechnoEdge group. Here I can click on create group. I can give the name of the group and I can also give the description, which is optional. So here first group which I'll be creating for a testing phase. Those people will be assigned to do a testing for that email marketing. So let me just write as testing team. So I've given the name as testing team and the description I've given as this team would be doing testing related to campaign related process. So I can just click on create. Now this group has been created, a testing group or a testing team, but I need to add some users to this particular group over here. So here I can just click on add to group and you can see type to add a user. So what user do I want to add? Either I can type some name over here, okay, and I'll be getting list of all the email IDs. For example, I can select this one and then again I can type as B and I'll be getting some email IDs like this one, or I can just click on this button over here. So when I click on this button, all these email IDs which are available, I can pick up and I can just click on add button here. So I can select this one and click on close. So you see that email ID would be added to this particular group over here. So now when I click on save, you can see all the email IDs which I've selected have been added over here. So now I can just click on done button here. So this is the method by which you have added testing team. Let's create one more team, which is for the development. So I can click on create group. So I can write the name over here as developer and the developer team. Click on create. Now after doing that, I can just click on this add to group option, select the contacts from here. Let's say 1, 2, 3, and I can just click on close. Those contacts would be added. Click on save and then click on done. So this way you see teams would be added here. That's known as contact groups into Smartsheet. Okay. Later on, we'll see how to send an invitation, how to assign a task to that particular group inside Smartsheet. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see details about the group properties. We have created a group. We have assigned the contacts to that group. Now in this video, we'll see 4 things related to group properties. How to edit a group, how to delete a group, how to assign the ownership of a group to some other person, and also we'll see how to download the group properties. That's 4 options we'll see in this video. Let us see the first one. How do we edit a group? First thing, I can go to this that's a group management option here. And here on the left hand side, you can see that's a group management. These are already groups which I've created. Suppose if I want to edit any group, I can just click on that drop down option over here. And these are the 4 options we are going to cover. So first one, I can just click on edit group. If you have done a mistake, suppose if you want to delete one person, you can just click over here and I can just click on remove from group. This person will be removed from that particular group or team. If you want to add some user, click on this button, click on this contact icon, select and close. So you see that particular option, that particular name would be added here. So removing and deleting option can be done from this place. So I can click on done. This was editing a group. Next one, if you do not like the group and if you want to delete that option, suppose this TechnoEdge which is given and I want to delete that group, I can just click on delete option. Now before deleting, it will give us a warning that do you want to delete a group? So I'll say yes, I can just click on delete option. That group would be removed from here. Next one. If you see the next option, we have assigning ownership. I can click on this drop down and you can see transfer group ownership option. So here if you see the ability to transfer group ownership is available with the paid plan. So you have to go for the paid plan and you can do this. What will happen when you do this option? This will be transferred. The group can be managed by other person as well. Right now, you are the admin, you are the author, you are the group creator. But if you assign this one, the other person can also manage. In the team, in the company, obviously more than one person should be there handling this kind of backend process here. The next option we have, if I want to download the group sheet access report, who has what access? So I can click on this download group sheet access here. Now when I click on this option, carefully observe, one Excel sheet will open. Right now it is completely empty. The key, name, workspace type, everything. These are the metadata which you'll be getting. Suppose if I assign some tasks to those users, then this data set also would be updated by its own. So right now it is completely empty. So I can just click on close button here and I can go back to the Smartsheet. So these are the 4 options which you have seen right now. The 4 options was editing, deleting a group, assigning ownership to some other person, and downloading the group properties as well into a CSV format. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to share the data what we have created with the other users sitting anywhere across the world. So here we'll cover 4 topics in this video. The first one, how do we share one particular row or one particular task with any user? If I want to share more than one record, let's say 4 to 5 tasks or 4 to 5 records, how do I share it? Third one, we'll see how to share the entire worksheet, the entire grid view which is visible at the backend. And the fourth and the last option, how do we share a link with the other user? If I don't want to share this entire sheet, or if I just want to send a link, how do I do that? So let us see these 4 options one by one. The first option, if I want to share one data or one record with some other user, how do I do that? Simply select any row from here, right click on that particular row, and here you have the option as share. So you see that's a send option which is visible here. Remember, whenever you have 3 dots in front of any name, that means some dialog box, some options are going to appear here. So when you click on send option, a dialog box appears here. Now it says send to subject and message. This works exactly like your Microsoft Outlook account, where these 3 options are there, to subject and message. So here I can send a mail to this person, let's say Pavan Lalwani, it's my other email account, and here I can write as quick update, and I can write here as new update. Some message I would add here in this place, and also I'll tell them to CC me. So I'll also be getting a mail when the person is getting here. Now include all columns. Whatever columns I have added here, it will include all the columns. Carefully observe at the backend, requirement number modified by, and on the right hand side if you see task and the start date. So here if I click on this edit option, I can choose the columns over here. You remember this requirement number and the modified, these are the 2 columns. The last option if you see, that's a task and the start option. These are 2 columns here. If you do not want to add the columns, just simply deselect this option. Let's say assign to, and then click on OK. And now I can just click on send button. What will happen is an email would be shoot to that person and you'll be in CC right now. Let me show you that email. It's my same email account. Let me just escape this. Let me open the Gmail and let me show you that data here. Right. So I'll go back here and I'll try to open my email account. And you can see on this place, an email is visible here. You see the same email which is visible here. So email campaign project plan, that particular row number 7, requirement 7 has been shared by this date and time. So all the details are visible into a vertical tabular format. You see, that's one thing here. Now, if I go back to this place, now suppose if I want to share more than one record, so I can just select from row number 6 to row number 13, row number 6 to row number 13, and here is an option given as send. So when I click on send, I can just choose from here the same email ID, or I can just type it, that would be better. Right. So I can select here and I'll tell them CC me as well, and I can click on send. Now when I go back here, carefully observe, there's one more email which will be visible here. Very fast, very quick. So you don't have to wait, you don't have to do an attachment. That's very easy online method. So here if you see, these are all the records, requirement number 6 to requirement number 13. All these details are visible into this particular tabular format. Very simple way to share. Coming back to this place, we have seen how to send one record, how to send multiple records. Now sometimes you don't want to send some records, you want to share the entire sheet, entire grid view. That time you can just click on file menu bar. One method is Control A from a keyboard, that means select all, and then you can share. That is one method. The second method is you can just go to file menu bar and there's an option given as share option. In this share option, you'll get some features, some options, like you can invite the people over here. You can just click on this option and you can select the email ID. Let me type over here and I can select the email ID. Next one is the subject line. If you want to change, you modify that option. There's a body text over here, notify people and CC myself. That is very simple. Now this is important, which is collaborators. Right now, there are 2 people involved in this place, and what is the credentials, what is the permissions they have been got. So this person is the owner for this particular sheet and he is the editor on this place. Now this is one method. Now the moment I click on share sheet, what will happen is one or more users already have the equal rights. So I can just click on OK. Maybe I can just add some other email ID. So in this place, yes, let me remove this. Yeah. So I have to add some other email ID. Let me just select the email ID option over here. Maybe I can just click on this place and I can add quickly a new one. So here, now I'll just select the email ID. Now when I click on share sheet option, carefully observe, and I can click on grant access. Now I have to open another email ID. I have many email IDs logged in. Just to show you the demo over here, this email ID I have logged in, and here on the right hand side you see an email would be already received based on that requirement here. So not only one or two records, but the entire sheet has been shared with this person. So you see, welcome to the Smartsheet, save this email. And if I click on this one, so the details would be visible here. Right. So here it is asking me to join as an invitation. Let me go back here. But somewhere I'll be receiving that email ID where the attachment or where the entire sheet permissions will be given. Let me go back here. So now if you see, I have got the email, you are invited to join. So once I accept that option, then only the person will be able to share the sheet here. So when I click on accept, and you can see it went to the Smartsheet option, it has automatically created an account into that Smartsheet place. So right now I'll not go into that place because it's the same login. So I won't be able to show you the two demos on this one screen option. So this was the third thing, that is sharing the entire sheet. Now the last option, if you don't want to share the entire sheet, but if you want to share the link with them, you can again go to that place. In fact, not here, in the file menu bar, and here you can just click on share button. The last option, if you see, there's a sheet link. You can just pick up the URL, send via Outlook, via email or WhatsApp, any place. So I can just copy this particular link over here and I can just send it to my colleague or client. Here is a button over here, the icon button, which works like your Microsoft Outlook, where you can enter the email address, the subject and the body text. So I can just click on cancel and click on close. Right. So I hope you have understood these 4 options related to sharing the data with any users across the world. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to send the data as an attachment, and also we'll see how to schedule an email. If you want to send it quickly as an attachment right now, you can do that, or you can also schedule the option. Let us see that one by one. So first thing, we are in the same sheet, which is a project plan over here, and I can just go to file option. There's an option given as send as attachment. When I click on send as attachment, you see that's an email with an attachment icon. When I click on send as attachment, I'll get this dialog box over here. The same thing what you see in Microsoft Outlook. So imagine like Microsoft Outlook is integrated into your Smartsheet, that we can consider here. I can select the user from here by selecting the icon, or I can just type over here. I can write the email ID. I can write the project plan, and here's the same thing. I have attached a copy of my sheet for your review. And here if you see, attach as a PDF or a Microsoft Excel, both the options are available. Let's consider the PDF option, and I can just click on send button here. Now this would be sent to that person. Let me close this. Now when I open that email, let me open the email for you, and I can show you that email which I've received. So now when I go back here, and if I open that email, so I'll be getting the attachment into a PDF format. Let us see that. Right. And here you go. You can see that's a name, email campaign project plan, and that's a PDF document here. So that's the same line which I've got it. And if I click on this PDF, this is the PDF data which I've received. And you see the second, all the rows by rows are given here. You see, in a proper format. So that means you don't have to, today what is happening, what people do is, today they work into Excel, they save the file, attach, and then they send it. You don't have to do that. Just click off a button and the email would be shoot automatically. But now this email went quickly within 1 minute or within few seconds. Imagine if you don't want to email today, you want a scheduling email that, let's say, on this particular time and date the email should go. Then what you can do is file menu bar, and there's an option send as attachment. Now the last option, if you see, delivery, scheduled to send later on a recurring basis. That, for example, every morning 9 o'clock, when my manager comes in the office 8:30, he needs 30 minutes to settle down, and at every morning 9 o'clock, email should automatically go to my client or to my manager. So I can click on this schedule option, and you can see this is the options here, delivery options. One is once, daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly. Suppose if I say daily, it should go every day to my manager. You see, repeat every 1 day from this date to at this particular time, let's say morning 9 o'clock, or let's say 10 o'clock. He needs some time to settle down. And here this date and time must be in the future. So you see, I can write as start date. Today, the date when I'm recording is 5th September. I'll say starting from tomorrow. Okay. So every day at 10 a.m. the email will go automatically. Now imagine this is a weekly report. Then you don't have to select daily. You have to just select the weekly option. So let's say weekly, Monday, Tuesday and till Friday. Monday to Friday. These are the working days in my company. I want to send this report at so and so particular time. You can also select the end date as well. So end date, we have two options. One is till the day the project lasts or till the day you are working in the company. So both days you have to find out whichever is the nearest, you can put that. And I can just click on OK button. So scheduled email will go automatically. Then we have a monthly email. Whenever you're creating a monthly report, very soon we'll see when we are creating a dashboard or a report. That time you can do the scheduling email as well. Right now it's a worksheet, it's a grid data view. So I can just click on cancel option here. So same thing, I can just click on close button. So we have seen two things over here. One is sending the data as an attachment into PDF or an Excel format. And also we can train our Smartsheet to do this on a regular basis as a recurring device or a recurring option as well. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to work on permission related options. Now, if you want to assign a permission, if you want to edit the permission or remove the permission from the person, we have different options: viewer, editor, or the collaborator. Different permissions are there. Let us see those options. Now, I'm talking about this particular sheet. Who is having the access? What are the permissions assigned? On the right hand side, if you see there's a share button. If I click on share button, one method is I can share with any person across the world who is having an account on Smartsheet. So we have seen these options earlier, but right now let's be specific about permissions. Whenever you're assigning a person or a group to this particular sheet, what is the permissions you're giving them? There are three options. One is the viewer. Only the person can watch. He cannot edit, modify anything. Second option, editor and cannot share. The person can modify this data because he has the permissions, but he cannot share the report with any users because he's not that trustworthy or the data is more confidential. Any option. And third one is editor and can share the option. So he is the person who can edit the sheet and as well as share the data anywhere, any person itself. So there's no bracket with whom you're doing that. So these are the permissions option. Now at any point of time, if you think you need some help over here, you can just click on this icon. These are the options which will help you to understand. So viewer, editor, admin and owner, these are the permissions available. Now this collaborators option are nothing but these are already users working with this Smartsheet option. Now this person is having the owner permission, this person is having the editor permission, and this person is having the editor can share option here. So this permission you can remove. Suppose if you want to modify, okay, the next option we have, if you want to modify, you can just simply select the option editor cannot share, viewer option, or you can select the option editor. So you see the permissions would be updated here. Now if you think these are updated, but still if you want to remove the person from this particular sheet, the person has been removed from the project. So you can just see there's an option here at the right hand side that you can edit from here or you can delete from here. So let's say if I say them as a viewer and let me close this one, again click on share option and here there's a remove option. You can just click on this remove button here and the person will be removed from this particular access. He has no permissions on this sheet over here. So I can just click on close button. Okay. So I hope you have understood what are different permissions options available. How can you modify that option and how do you remove this from a Smartsheet option? That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see about the sharing and collaboration topic. Sharing and collaboration sense, if you want to communicate with any person, we can use this Smartsheet tool. Today, what happens is people use Excel, they attach, send an email and WhatsApp them. You can stop doing that. You can come to Smartsheet and do a real-time communication and a chatting inside Smartsheet itself. Let us see that. Suppose if I have a query, if I have a doubt on this particular row, let's say row number 4, I want to have an understanding. So let me close this dialog box. Yeah. If I want to have an understanding or a more clarity on row number 4, and if I want my colleague to come into picture and understand, make me explain what is wrong with this. So here is an option. If you see, there's a small button over here, which is add a comment. Add a comment, or you can do a conversation with your colleague or a client. So when you click on this plus sign, carefully observe what happens. If I click on this option, on the right hand side, there's a conversation tab or a comment tab. You can give anything name over here. So that particular row number 4, which is having kickoff meeting, you see that's a row number 4, which is nothing but kickoff meeting, will have something to tell. So here I can just notify a person. Here I can tag a person by using @, and let's say I'll tag myself with another account. So I can select here and I can ask him kindly reply with details. Okay. So I've written as kindly reply with details. So it's like your Facebook account. How do you communicate with your friends on Facebook? Same way you can do that. And I can just click on send button over here. Now this comment has been gone. Okay. And a notification email will go to that person. So let me open that email. Let me go back here and click on this place. And you see this person has mentioned you in an email campaign project plan. So if I click on this option, carefully observe, kindly reply with details. So here if I click on reply, I can reply to that person. But right now I won't be able to log in by 2 different email IDs on the same machine. So I cannot reply to this person. However, if I click on reply, I would be able to write some comment on that. So it's a real-time communication. I think I need to show you first. Let me log out from here. Right. Let me log out and I can just log out. Yeah. Now what I can do is I can just reply in a Smartsheet. I got an email. I can click on reply in Smartsheet and here I'll just log in by some other account. This account over here. So I have 2 accounts and you see that's a P account. So this one is the other account. Now what I can do is I can just show you over here. So I can click on this comment option and here I can reply. So what I've done is I've written some comment. These factors are good to go. Kindly proceed without delay. And if I click on send button over here, you see the reply has gone away. So 2 people are communicating directly into this particular row. Now this was one example for row number 4 specifically. Suppose if you are talking in general based on the overall project. So what you can do is you can also select the option sheet and this would be general, may be visible to all the users who are working on this particular team. So here the same thing I can write as @ and I can write the name of the person, kindly submit. Okay. And if I click on send button, this would go automatically here. So what is happening? Real-time communication based on row and based on the sheet as well is happening here. Okay. So that's it. And I hope you have understood how to work on the conversations or a comment for one particular row or for the entire sheet in the Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some more options related to conversations or the comment option here. What are those options? We'll see how to edit a comment, delete a comment, print a comment or send an email with that comment. So let us see that one by one. So first thing, if you see on the left hand side, we had the comment option. So if I click on this link over here, I have all the comments options available here. Now suppose if I want to edit a comment, I have to just click on that 3 dots over here and we have the edit comment option. For me, the option is disabled because I am not the author of this person. I have not written the comment. So we'll see the second option, that email a comment. If you want to email the person, so you can just click on email comment. Whatever comment you have done on this place, it will be emailed to so and so person. And the activity, if you see, to subject and the personal message. All these details you can fill. For time being, I can just click on cancel. The third option, if you see, we have the option as printing a comment. You can take a printout of this one comment if you want and you can share with other people. So that's the option given as print comment and you can see for printing this window will open. So I can click on close button here. The other option we have of 3 dots, when I click on this 3 dot option, there's a delete comment option. If you do not like the comment you want to remove from this particular record, just click on delete comment option here. Now, the other option is when I click on just reply and if I just type something over here and if I send it. So now this comment has become a thread. Now you can just talk to your colleague via this thread option. So when I click on this drop down on this 3 dot option, the below options if you see, I'll be having as email this thread, delete the thread or print the thread. These are the options which are available. If it is just one comment, no reply on that, it's known as comment. Now it becomes a thread over here. You can send the entire conversation history to any person of your team. This was the option here. Okay. So, and here if you observe, when you just reply to this place, here you can also do an attachments. You can also attach any document supporting to that particular comment or in conversation. So when I click on this attachments option, I can upload a file from any place. Just click on upload file and I can just pick up something, let's say pre-launch webinar. That's a PDF file I want to attach. So here if you observe, that attachment will be there and I can just click on, I can type something over here and click on send. So that will work as an attachment to that particular conversation. So I hope you have understood some other features, other advanced options related to the conversations or comment. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some more options related to conversations or the comment option here. What are those options? We'll see how to edit a comment, delete a comment, print a comment, or send an email with that comment. So let us see that one by one. So first thing, if you see on the left hand side, we had the comment option. So if I click on this link over here, I have all the comments options available here. Now suppose if I want to edit a comment, I have to just click on that three dots over here and we have the edit comment option. For me, the option is disabled because I am not the author of this person. I have not written the comment. So we'll see the second option, that email a comment. If you want to email the person, so you can just click on email comment. Whatever comment you have done on this place, it will be emailed to so and so person. And the activity, if you see, to, subject and the personal message. All these details you can fill. For time being, I can just click on cancel. The third option, if you see, we have the option as printing a comment. You can take a printout of this one comment if you want and you can share with other people. So that's the option given as print comment, and you can see for printing this window will open. So I can click on close button here. The other option we have of three dots, when I click on this three dot option, there's a delete comment option. If you do not like the comment you want to remove from this particular record, just click on delete comment option here. Now, the other option is when I click on just reply and if I just type something over here and if I send it. So now this comment has become a thread. Now you can just talk to your colleague via this thread option. So when I click on this drop down on this three dot option, the below options, if you see, I'll be having as email this thread, delete the thread or print the thread. These are the options which are available. If it is just one comment, no reply on that, it's known as comment. Now it becomes a thread over here. You can send the entire conversation history to any person of your team. This was the option here. Okay, so and here if you observe, when you just reply to this place, here you can also do an attachments. You can also attach any document supporting to that particular comment or in conversation. So when I click on this attachments option, I can upload a file from any place. Just click on upload file and I can just pick up something, let's say pre-launch webinar. That's a PDF file I want to attach. So here if you observe, that attachment will be there and I can just click on, I can type something over here and click on send. So that will work as an attachment to that particular conversation. So I hope you have understood some other features, other advanced options related to the conversations or comment. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see many things related to attachments. How to attach a document to a particular row or to the particular entire sheet over here. How do we download the attachments? If you upload it, some person have to download it from the other place. How do we maintain a revision history? How do you revise the updated document, and many more options related to attachments. Let us see one by one. I have this particular sheet over here, and if I want to attach some document, a supporting document, here if you observe the first link, which is an icon, here when you click on this place, you can just attach any one document here. Let me just click on this link and I can just attach some document to that particular row. Since I'm not able to do it because I've logged in from some other account, maybe what I can do is I can just log out from here and log in by the other account. So I can just sign out, sign in by the other account. Right. So I've signed in by the other account and I can just open the last, recent report which I opened. And here if you observe the attachment icon. So here when I click on this link and it allows me to attach some document. So on the right hand side, if you see which document you want to attach, it's given. So attach files to row number 5. You can be very specific in attaching the document. So I can click on this link over here, attach from the location, let's say revise plan, and that's it. So this document has been attached to row number 5. If you want to attach to the entire sheet over here, you can just click on this sheet option, and same thing, you can just do this option here, attach files to a sheet, click on upload file, and I can select minutes of meeting. So these two documents we have attached. Now, after attaching the document, if you think there's a new version of that document have come, so what you can do is you can just go back to the row option, click on this drop down, and here is the option as upload new version. You can upload a new version of that document. So I can click on upload new version and I can just pick up as resource planning. So multiple documents obviously will be updated as per the time itself. So now if you see there's a V2 which is given, V2 stands for the version 2 of this particular document. Now what you can do is you can just click on this three dots option. So the person who's there on the other end can also download this particular file. He can also send this file as an attachment. Then we have the description option. You can modify the description. You can also rename this particular document and change some other name option here. This one is what you call as version history. If a person is entirely changing the document again and again, you need to have a track of that document. So here is the option as given as version history. Version history will tell you what are the documents attached by whom at what particular date and time. So all the history would be given here. So what you can do is you can just select this checkbox and you have the option as sorting by date, by time, or by name or size, anything. We also have some other options from here as well. Suppose the earlier version document which has been attached, you want to download it, you want to send it, those things can also be done with the previous document. And the last option is you can also delete an attachment from this, provided you are the editor and you have the permissions to delete that file. So you can just also delete that file. Okay, so I hope you've understood what are the different features available related to attachments in the Smartsheet option. That's all for this video. Welcome back to the new video in Smartsheet. In this video, we'll see things related to cosmetic, how to change the background color, how to change the font color, apply the bold, italic, and so on. Along with that, we'll see also how to create a column having a checkbox, also create a column having some indicators or symbols. Let us see that. So first thing what we have to do is, let me show you this data over here. Carefully observe project plan, kickoff, testing and audience, develop. These are all the headings which are given, but you cannot differentiate between the headings and the other text, which is the smaller task. So what we have to do is we have to assign some background color or font color to this particular heading so it differentiates. How do we do that? So I have to select the first row which is already selected, and here if you see the bucket which is a color, I can apply the background color as dark blue over here. Okay, I need to select it first. So I'll select this row, apply the background color blue, and I can apply the font color as white. So from here, background color and font color applied, so it looks differentiated. Same way, wherever the headings are present, I have to apply this kind of formatting. Now, I can just minimize, minimize, and minimize. So this first three records which have been minimized, the headers, I have to select those headers, control click or shift click, and then apply the same borders, that the background and the font color. Now when I maximize this one, carefully observe, only the heading is having the cosmetic part, so it differentiates. Similarly, let me just minimize all of them. Right. So I can select all of the four options, 1, 2, 3, and 4. And here I can give the background color and the font color. This looks a bit better. Next one. After applying this cosmetics, I'll create one column which will have a checkbox. So to do that, I can just select this option and I can create a column on the left hand side. Insert column left. Now this column name I'll give as flag. So selected the option as flag, and here the data type of the column I'll select as checkbox. Carefully observe, there's a checkbox option, and here I can just click on OK. Now what is happening? This entire column is having a checkbox. So let's consider it has been done or it has been pending, some notification you can give. So flag, when I select this checkbox, carefully observe, this has been selected. This can be an indicator, it can be a notification for true or false, any option here. So when I expand this option, let me expand this one and carefully observe all the places I have the checkbox here. So you can keep on selecting that this task has been done or has been pending, anything. You can decide on your case. Next one. Now I want to create a column which will tell me a priority of that particular record or the particular task. High priority, low priority, or medium priority. Now we can create a priority wise using a drop down we have seen in the previous video. But using a symbol, it creates a separate impression. So I can just insert a column on the left, and here I can give the name as priority. And the data type, I'll select the option as symbols. Carefully observe, these are the symbol options which I've selected. Now there are various type of symbols available. So you see, these are the flag symbols. On the top, the headers are given. Below that, these are the priority symbols. If I scroll down again, there are some decision based symbols and so on. So have a look on this different type of symbols. In this case, I just want to pick up a priority wise symbols over here, or you can also scroll down and select something else. Let's say decision option or status option. Now when I click on OK button, carefully observe, this column is having a symbol over here, but it is not visible. So if I expand this column, if I just click on this place, from here I can select the color red, yellow or green color, anything from here. So I can say that the red color will become high priority. The other colors will become medium or low priority option. So that's it. Same way you can keep on assigning the colors here. So I hope you have understood how to give the cosmetic, the background and font color, how do we create a simple check boxes in the entire column, and how do we assign different type of symbols into the Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see a very interesting topic in Smartsheet. That's a conditional formatting. We have seen what is a formatting, changing the background color, changing the font and alignment. But you have to do a formatting based on some condition. If the condition is satisfied, then the formatting would be applied. Let us see that practically. Now carefully observe, whenever we have a column named as status here, whenever it is complete, I want that it should be highlighted into green color background. Whenever it is in progress, some other color. So tomorrow, if the in progress has been converted to complete, okay, then this background color should change to green color. Let us see practically. So based on this condition, this is just an example. It can be some other example as well. Let's see. So first of all, you see there's a conditional formatting on this toolbar. The option is present over here in 3 dots. Because my screen size is smaller, that's the reason it is in those 3 dots. However, you'll be getting the option named as conditional formatting on the toolbar itself. This is the option for conditional formatting. The moment I click on this button, a dialog box appears, conditional formatting. It will try to help you to understand how to write it. Carefully observe, this is the example rule. Now, this is easier than Excel, Microsoft Excel. If priority is high, then apply this format to the priority column or the entire row. So this is an example, but let's see practically. We have the condition in the status column. If status is complete, then apply the background color. So I can just click on add new rule, and here if you observe, a new rule is been added which is completely blank. I can click on if set condition, and these are all the columns which are present at the backend. So I can tell them if status is complete. Okay. So first you need to select a column for a condition, then select the criteria or the value in that column. So I've selected status equals to complete. Click on OK. Then I can apply some particular formatting. I want the background color to be as green color. So I can click on this format. These are different formatting options available. Now some will work on the grid view, some will work on different view. So this is the grid view which we are working right now. If you open Gantt chart view or calendar view, the other options will work. So time being, I just want the background color as green color, and let's see the font color as this color over here. When I click on OK, that's a preview. Now what is happening? The entire record would be highlighted. If you carefully observe here, the backend is already been assigned here. Suppose if I change the condition, instead of complete, if I click on this button here, if I say in progress, and if I click on OK, now if you observe here, the in progress also is given as the green color here. So complete or in progress. So I can just select here and I'll tell them in progress is not required. Click on OK and then click on OK. So you see the entire record is been highlighted. Now the best part is this condition you have to apply only one time, but it will be applicable every now and then. Suppose tomorrow, in case this in progress status will become as complete. If it becomes complete, the conditional formatting is applied here. Okay. Again, let me show you. If not started is going to complete, it becomes complete here. So it becomes very easy for any person to just view it by looking at the color. That green color means it has been completed. Red color, I can say it has been danger or it has been pending from long time. There's a long gap in that. That also we can apply. So this is one easy method here. Suppose if you do not like this conditional formatting, you want to delete or modify, you can always go back, click on this 3 dots, click on this conditional formatting, and here what you can do is you can just click on this place, on this one or on this one, any place you can click. So let's say if I don't want on the entire row, if I just want to highlight only one particular column, that's a status column. So I can just click on OK button here. Now when I click on OK, the entire record is not been highlighted, only that particular column is highlighted, allowing end users to take quick decisions based on the color formatting. So I hope you have understood how to give a conditional formatting in the Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some more features related to conditional formatting. In the previous video, we have seen the basic thing, how to create a conditional formatting, how it is applied. If you want to modify, we have seen that thing. Here, we'll take one step ahead. We'll see some more features here. What are the features here? We'll see how to edit, how to delete, disable, or rearrange. Even we'll see how to duplicate a particular conditional formatting. Let us see that. So here we have seen based on the status, we got the conditional formatting. Now, if I go back and if I want to duplicate this conditional formatting, I can click on this button, conditional formatting. This was the entire condition which we have applied. Now here there's a small button on the left hand side. I can click on this small drop down and there are many options available. The first option, let's go with the clone rule. When you click on the clone rule, it creates exactly duplicate of this condition here. So obviously we cannot use two same conditions. We have to modify a bit. So obviously we'll not be requiring this condition. So I can click on this drop down and I can select the option delete. Okay, this is one method. Now second one, if the condition is already there and you want to disable that condition, it should be there but not be enabled. So that time you can click on this drop down and there's an option disable rule. Disable rule will make the color of this condition as completely gray color. Okay, so you cannot use that condition. However, if I just move the dialog box at the bottom, you can see the condition has been gone away. It is there, but it is gone away. So I can click on this drop down, enable rule, and you see it has been enabled here. So condition can be enabled. Now, next one, the most important part is if you want to create an AND condition, that means this condition plus the other condition, let's say priority condition. So I can click on this drop down and I can say AND condition. AND condition. Suppose the status is complete and the other condition, one more condition I can add. What is that condition? If the priority is equal to red color. Okay. So I can click on set condition. I can tell them priority red color and click on OK. And then if you see already the color is applied wherever the status is complete and wherever the priority is red color, the background color is applied. But I want this condition to be applied to entire row. So I can click on this status option and I can say entire row. I want the condition to be applied on entire row, click on OK. So you see entire row is applied. I can just click on OK button. So now suppose tomorrow this becomes as high priority or it becomes red color. See what happens. If I click on this drop down and if I convert this into red color, the entire record is going to change into green color background. You see that's a green color background. Let us try one more. If I change this priority to complete and if I change the status as complete and the priority as red color, the condition is highlighted. What happens with the help of this conditional formatting? The end user can take quick decisions based on the requirement here. So you don't have to see and check. Green color, the colors are more easy to our eyes and take a quick decision. I hope you have understood some more features in conditional formatting. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see about the highlight changes. Now, imagine you have a huge database, you have huge number of requirements. Now, many people in your team are changing it continuously and you do not have a track. It's very difficult for a normal person to keep on checking who has done what, okay, and when the person has done. What you can do is, you can use Smartsheet tool and quickly highlight the changes. Last 1 hour, last 1 day or last 1 month, what changes have been made and who has done that thing. We can do that thing. Let us see first of all, what I can do is I can remove the conditional formatting so we can focus it properly. I can click on this 3 dots, this button here, and maybe I can just disable the rule for time being and click on OK. So there is no rule applied, no conditional formatting applied. So now I just want to highlight changes which has been done in last 1 hour. From last 1 hour, I'm recording. I have shown you conditional formatting. I have changed the priority and the status. So in last 1 hour, whatever changes have been made, quickly highlighted. So I can click on this 3 dots. This one is the highlight changes. You see this one. This feature is also available in Microsoft Word document. So same way, this one is highlight changes. And here, first of all, I have to enable that option. The moment I enable, something happen at the backend. What is that thing? It has highlighted changes in the last 1 hour. Okay, in the last 1 hour, when I'm recording this thing, these are the places which I've done. I have selected the checkboxes, changed the priority, and if you observe, I have completed this. I had changed this option from not started to complete, in progress to complete. This has been highlighted here. If I tell them that I want to see all the changes done today itself, I can select this option. So today also, these are the only things. 3 days. From last 3 days, all these things I've done because I started recording and I did everything from scratch. So in last 3 days, everything is done. What I can do is max from here, I can just choose the formatting. Some changes I can do it. Let's say I want into this color here and these are the changes done. This cells I have not troubled. I did not change anything. Therefore, they are not highlighted. This way you can quickly understand who has done what changes, in sense what changes have been made. Now you can come back always. You can click on this highlight changes and you can tell them last 1 hour and click on close. So now you don't have to call to the person and ask him what changes have you made. No, you can just see your sheet and what changes have been made will be visible here. Okay, very small topic, very interesting. So I hope you have understood how to work on highlight changes in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll be starting a new topic related to functions. Functions are very important. In this Smartsheet, we have around 150 functions. It can be date, text, number, logical functions, and many more. Here in this video, I'll be starting with the very basic functions, how to write a sum, average, minimum, maximum function. To work on these functions, we require some numerical data. This data, which you're working from long time, doesn't have numerical data. What we have to do is, we have to import a new data, which I've kept it somewhere. You'll be getting the file in the description or somewhere. So here, let us open that file. Let me open the folder and show you which file is it. So the file name is Sample Superstore. I can just double click and open the file. Sample Superstore is a file like your Amazon, Flipkart, Big Bazaar, and so on. What this is all about, this data will tell you about how much sales, how much profit, who was the customer, which city, and everything. So all the records, all the detailed records would be present here. Now, the name of the sheet is orders and name of the file is Sample Superstore. These are all the columns which are present. So now this data, if you see numerical, sales, quantity, discount, and profit. These are 4 columns which are present here. I will import this particular file inside the Smartsheet. How do I do that? First of all, let me close this file. And here I will just create a new one. So let me minimize. I can just click on file, create new, and I can just click on grid option here. Let me write the name of this grid as basic functions in Smartsheet. Now I can just click on OK button. This is a plain blank empty grid view here. Nothing is there. Let me import that Excel file directly here. I can click on file option and there's an option given as import. Yeah. That's the option import. I can click on import. That's the import Microsoft Excel. I can click on this select button, pick up the file in that folder named as Sample Superstore and then click on open. Now I can just click on continue and you see the data would be loaded inside this Smartsheet here. Right. Now it is asking for the import settings. The name of the sheet is given as Sample Superstore and primary column heading. This is the primary column heading which is selected. Sometimes what happens is the row heading comes in 3rd row, 2nd row, 5th row. Then you can select that particular row and that row will become your heading. Okay, so this is the optional thing. You don't have to do that. In this case, we'll be selecting the first row as the column heading. Now I can just click on import button here. The data will be loaded inside Smartsheet. And now once it is loaded, we'll be working on the basic functions, sum, average, minimum, maximum. Right. And you can see these are the 4 columns: sales, quantity, discount, and profit. Now, if you want to write the calculation in Excel, usually we write down the calculation at the bottom. Now, I want to write the calculation on the top. So I can just click on this place and I can just insert a new row above and here I'll write the calculation. So I want to write the sum of this entire column on the top. So I can just double click and write as equal to sum and open bracket. And here what I can do is I can write the column name as sales. So let me write down as sales colon sales. Sales colon sales, if I write it, that means entire column it will select and give the answers. So when I press enter, carefully observe, the answer will be 2.29 million. That's a value which is given. I have already seen the answer in the Excel. So that's a 2.29 million. Same way, if I want to see the average of profit, double click on that cell and I can type as average AVG. And here I can write as profit colon profit. What is profit? Profit is the name of the column which is present and I can press enter. Same way, if I want to find out what is the maximum discount or maximum quantity, I can write as equal to. Remember, any function in Smartsheet starts with equal to sign. So I can write as equal to max, and I can write here column name as quantity, colon quantity, right? And I can just close the bracket here. That's it. So maximum quantity in this column is nothing but 14. And here I can write as minimum discount equal to minimum, and I can write the column name discount colon discount. And now when I press enter, the minimum discount which is given in the entire column is 0. That is what is given here. This calculation which I have written, it can be written at the bottom of the sheet or at the top of the sheet. No problem. Anywhere you can write it. So when I write a sum, I want the sum of the entire column. So sales is nothing but column heading. So in Excel, how do we write as equal to sum B colon B? Same way, here we have written sales colon sales option here. Okay, these are very simple and basic options. Now in the next video, we'll be exploring some advanced functions in Smartsheet related to date functions, logical functions, and many more. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some other functions inside Smartsheet. We have seen the basic ones, sum, average, minimum, maximum. But if you want to write it something differently, for example, we have written the functions on the top of the column. Suppose you want to write the functions somewhere on the side. How do we do that? Let us see. So first thing, I just want to round these numbers, the profit column which is given. These are in decimal numbers. I don't want the decimal. I just want to round off those numbers. So I can just create a new column, insert a column on the left hand side, and I can just give name as round profit, and then I can just click on OK button here. So now suppose this is the 28.6569. I want to round off. So I can just use round function equal to round. Remember, every function in Smartsheet starts with equal to sign. So equal to round, there is a round, round down, and round up. So if I select the option, let's say round up option, and I can tell them that this is the cell number. I kept my cursor on this particular place and see what is the function written here. Profit is the column name. If you see, that's a profit column name. Add the row, in the sense whichever current row you are there, that you have to take it. So I can just close the bracket right now, and then I can just click on enter. Carefully observe, this 28.65 has been converted to 29. Same way, if I just create one more column, insert column on the left, and I can write as profit down, and then click on OK. Equal to round down. I can select equal to round down, select the cell number, and I can close the bracket. So this will give me 28. Now, do I need to drag down? If you see carefully, if I just drag down, I'm getting the answers. But imagine if there are 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 rows, I cannot drag down till the end. There should be some shortcut method. Right click on that particular place. If I just delete this option, you can just simply right click on that particular cell, and there's an option convert to formula. Let me move it here. Right. So I can just right click on this particular place, and here you'll be getting one option here. That's a convert to column formula. When I click on convert to column formula, everywhere the function would be automatically applied. I don't have to be there. I repeat, select that particular cell, right click on that, and you can select the option convert to column formula, and that formula would be applied everywhere. Make sure when you're doing this activity, you save the file every now and then. Control S is the shortcut to save the file. Now, suppose if you do not want the record of each cell, if I would just want combination of the first 4 rows, and I want to do the calculation. How do you do that? So let us see that. I can just click on this insert column left, and I can write as 4 rows profit, or just simple profit. And I can just click on OK. I want the profit for the first rows. I can just type as equal to sum, bracket open, equal to sum, bracket open, and manually you can select this first 4 rows. So these are 3 rows. I can say I can select the first 4 rows. So if you are an Excel user, you understand A1 to A4, that's a method you select. Same way, here the column name comes first. A is the column in Excel. Here it is the profit as the column name. Then we have the row number 1, 2, 3, 4, A1, A2, A3, A4. Same way, this profit 4 is nothing but row number 4 over here. Close the bracket and press enter. So this is the answer for first 4 rows. Suppose if I change the value to 90, here the answer will automatically update. Okay, so this way you can work on some more functions related to Smartsheet here. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to work on the operators inside Smartsheet. Now, operators are like your addition, subtraction, division, and multiplication. But how do we use in Smartsheet? That's the main question here. So what I've done is I have prepared a dummy data at the backend in Excel, import that data into Smartsheet, and then we'll see the operators part. The data looks like this one. I have the symbol given over here, addition, subtraction, division, and so on. Value 1 column, value 2 column. I will be writing the formula or the function inside this place. That would be more specifically formula, and the comments are given here. The examples are given here. Let me bring this file. Name of the file is functions data into this place. So first of all, let me create a new sheet over here, and I can give the name as operators. File menu bar, new, and I can click on this new grid and I can write the name as operators. Click on OK. Now I can just click on file option. Import the Excel sheet. The name of the Excel file was functions data, and I can just click on open. Right. Click on continue. The data would be loaded here, and I can just click on import option here. So now that's the data which I have. Let me expand and increase the size. Right. Now if I want to do an addition of two numbers, which is value 1 and value 2, how do I do that? I can just double click on this place and I can write equal to. Remember, equal to sum is a function. Equal to sum is a function defined by Smartsheet. But if you want to do a simple addition, equal to, and I can write this cell number value 1 at the rate row plus sign from a keyboard, and I can select value 2 at the row. So this one is the formula and the equal to sum is the function. So I can press enter. This one is the sum. If I want to subtract two numbers, select those, use the subtraction symbol. If you want to divide, select that value 1, divide by, and that's a value 2. Very simple example I'm showing. Enter. And here if you want to multiply, so I can select equal to value 1 at the row multiplied by value 2 at the row. So here what we are learning is in every row you can add a new function or you can add a new formula as well. So this one what we're learning is the formula. And here the last one, this is nothing but parenthesis where you want to define the preference. Okay. For example, if I want to multiply 4 into 2, which becomes as 8, and then I want to add the number 2 over here. So I can give the preference equal to open bracket. I can select this particular cell, maybe add, and then I can just select this one, close a bracket and multiply it by 2. So this way in brackets which I give, that means I'm giving the priority to that particular calculation. Now when I press enter, this way I'll be getting the number here. Whenever you change the number, let's say if I write as 9, obviously the answer would be changing here. So if I double click and if I press enter, right. So I did not select this value. I've just multiplied by 2, and let me remove that and I can just select the value 3 option, and now I can press enter. So when I write here as 7, enter, so I'm getting the 42 value. So what is happening? The first two value or the first two what you call as logical test or operators are be given the higher preference, and then the green color is given the next preference here. So these are the basic operators. This would be required when you go for a long run inside Smartsheet. I hope you have understood the operators in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see some more functions related to Smartsheet. Here in this video, we'll focus on the text functions. Now, text functions in Excel are also similar like text function in Smartsheet. We'll see some basic functions, how to work on uppercase, lowercase, how to work on replace function in Smartsheet. Let us see that. So this was the data which you have previously loaded into Smartsheet, and I'll be focusing on a column named as city. So let's see if I just create a column, insert column on the right hand side, and I'll just give the name column as city2. Click on OK, and let me move it on the right hand side. Yes. So what I want to do is I want to convert this entire text into uppercase. So I can just type as equal to upper, press tab key, and then I can select the cell number, close the bracket. Same like your Excel. In Excel, you do as equal to upper, cell number A1. Here we are talking more specifically about the column and the row number. Enter, and then right click on this particular cell, convert to column formula, and the formula would be copied everywhere in the cell. This is one method of converting to uppercase. Let me delete that and show you the other method here. After selecting, if you want to delete, right click on this place and you can just delete rows, or I can just clear rows over here. Let me right click and delete column. Yes. Next one, suppose if I want to work on some other functions, how do I do that? So let me write as city3 and click on OK. Now there are many functions available. You cannot remember all the functions. So you can apply a trick which I use it. So I can click on this three dots over here, okay, on the right hand side, and here is the sum function. Okay, so when I click on this place, I'll be getting list of many functions available. So if I focus on the text function more specifically, you can see these are all the text functions which are available. So we have used one function from here named as uppercase. Same way, we'll try to use the lowercase function as well. So I can select the option as lower, okay, and you see the function will be automatically available. Now I can select the cell number, close a bracket, then I can right click, convert to the entire formula, and you see everywhere the text would be into lowercase. Now let us see one more function here. We'll see how to work on replace function. Let me create a new column on the right hand side, city4. Here what I want to do is I want to replace some text over here. So I can click on this place and I can select the option as text function. In this text function, I can select the option replace. So when you type replace, if you are very new to Smartsheet and you don't know how to write it, this window will help you to understand what has to be replaced and where. For example, here you see the example is given. If you provide this text and you see 7, 1, W. Now what exactly is this? We do not know. What we can do is we can see on the top, it will give you the function. Okay, it will give you the syntax. So first you have to give the text, which is the name over here, starting position, which is 7, and here number of characters, which is 1. And we want to replace with the word as W here. So what would be the output will be given as a summary here. So let us see, suppose if I write here as equal to replace, and here I can say select the text. So this is the particular text and I can put comma over here. Now it is guiding me. You see how good is Smartsheet. If I forget the function, it is guiding me what has to be done. So I'll say the position number, let's say as 4. Okay. So HEND, the deep would be the position number 4. And then I can put a comma over here in this particular cell. And after I put a comma 4, and I just want to replace one character with Z. Okay. And I can close the bracket. So starting from position number 4, number of characters I want to replace is 1 and I want to replace with Z. When I press enter, carefully observe, D alphabet has been replaced with Z. So I can just right click and I can just convert to formula here. So everywhere you can see the fourth position, one character would be replaced with Z. Everywhere you see Z option is available here. So if you think you made a mistake, no problem. You can always double click on this place, or you can just right click and click on edit column formula here. Now suppose you want to replace two characters. So instead of one, you can just put a backspace here to enter. So now two characters would be replaced by this particular Z function here. And then you can say convert to cell formula here. Right click, convert to column formula. Okay, it's very simple and you can apply. So this is one more function here. And the last example, which is a simple one, if I want to see how to convert into lowercase, we can still do that. I can click on this drop down, insert column right, lower, and I can type as equal to lower. We have seen this example and I can select enter. Same thing, I can right click and convert to column formula here. So three functions we have seen in the Smartsheet, how to convert into upper, lower, and how to replace a text in that column. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to work on date functions inside Smartsheet. Date functions are the most important functions in any calculations. Let us see that. So what I have to do is, I'll be showing you 5 examples in this video. First of all, let me show you the data. I have already created some sample data in the Microsoft Excel. I have the order date and the second column is shipping date. The date when there was order placed and the day when it was delivered or shipped. Now these are two dates given here. What I want is, I want to find out day of order date, month of order date, year of order date. I want to find out difference in the day it is placed order and the day it is delivered. So what is the difference between them? And I also want to find out difference between them only working days, no Saturdays and Sundays, no public holidays. So how do I get the answer here? So first of all, I'll pick up this data into Smartsheet. Name of the Excel file is date functions. Let me save the file and I can open Smartsheet. Let me create a new sheet over here. So I have to minimize, click on file, create new, and here I can write as date functions. Okay, so I can just write as date functions. Now let me import the file over here. So I can just click on file menu bar, then click on import Excel. Select the file, name of the file is date functions, and I can click on enter. The file is loaded here. Now one thing, if you observe, the data is loaded. Let me click on import. The data would be loaded at the backend. Whenever you create a new column related to function, it will have f of x as the heading. That will be function heading. So let me rearrange properly. Right. Now suppose if I want to find out day of order date, how do I do that? Two methods I'll show you. The first one, the simple method. If you remember, if you're good in remembering the functions, just type equal to day, press tab key and select the order date. Okay, so that's the order date row. Close bracket, enter. And here if you observe, so when I press enter, I'm getting something as invalid data. Let us see what would be the invalid data. The reason being is this column, if I double click and find out, this column is just a text or number. It is not a date format. So let me click on cancel. If I double click on this place, and if you see, this is which is given as date format. So when I click on OK, now this format will not work. It won't be accepted as a date format because it's only text and number. So what has to be done is we have to create, I have to click on this button over here. This has been converted into primary column and this will always be a date column here. So I can just go back here. The first column, I can just right click and insert inside Excel, and I can write as row ID. Row ID 1, 2, enter, and here I can just double click, save the file. Now this file I'll be reloading inside Smartsheet. So how do I do that? I can just click on, maybe I can just select and delete. I can create a new file over here, don't save, and date functions. Right. And then what I can do is file menu bar, import and import Excel. So click on this place and then select the date functions, continue. So first column by default would be picked up as primary column, unique ID column here. And the second, third column, as usual, it will pick up as date. So when I click on import, right. So this one is picked up as the primary column. Let us rearrange the data over here. Right. Now I can type as equal to day and then I can select the day, close bracket, enter. So when I press enter, you see I'm just getting the day over here. Same way, I can just right click and tell them that you have to convert this to the column formula and I can select that. Same way, I can type as month, select that order date, close the bracket, enter. I can type as equal to year and then select that date, enter. So what I can do is I can convert this to the entire formula. Right click, scroll down, convert to column formula, right click, scroll down, convert to column formula. Now let me increase the size of the screen. Yeah. Now the next one is I just want to find out the difference between order date and the shipping date. What was the difference between them? So one method is I know the function. Second one is I do not remember. However, I can click on three dots, click on this summation sign, and here I have to explore inside date functions. Carefully observe, there are plenty of different functions. I am interested into two functions. One is net days and second is net working days. So let me select the net days over here and I can select the start date and the end date. So you see start date and end date. Start date is my order date, end date is my shipping date. Close bracket, enter. So you see 35 days are there. That's a difference between two dates. Now, I cannot blame my company people that how come 35 days have been done. So they might tell us that there were Saturdays and Sundays in between. We were not working on Saturday, Sundays. So how much is the difference on the working days? How do you calculate that? For that thing, we have a separate calculation. The name of the calculation is net working days. So I can just go back here, find out the net work days option here. You see that's a function, net working days. Now here I can just select the start date, comma end date. Okay, start date, comma end date, enter. Now it says actual difference is 25, not the 35 number. So I can just right click and then convert to column formula here. So remember, net work days is just a subtraction. Net working days is the subtraction excluding your weekend, Saturdays and Sundays. So I hope you have understood what is the date functions available inside Smartsheet and how do we use it. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll learn about the logical functions in Smartsheet. Logical functions like if function, and function, or function, is even, is odd, and many more. there are many functions in logical. We'll see some examples in this video. The first one we'll see about the if function. Now you see, whenever you place an order to any company, if you get a delivery in more than 30 days, more than 40 days, you won't like that feature or facility. So you might not give a good rating. Same way, what we are going to do is, I will create one condition for this column, net working days. If the difference between order date and delivery date is more than 30, I can say as not a good one or not a good rating. If it is less than 30, it's a good rating. So how do I create a function? I can just click on this drop down, insert column left, and here I can write as rating. And this would be a text or number. Click on OK. So the condition I'll repeat here, equal to if this net working days, which is a row number, if it is greater than 30, okay, I can write as greater than 30, comma, in double quotes I can write as not a good rating, not a good rating, okay, or not a good facility, comma, double quotes after that comma, and here if it is done, I can write as good facility or good service, close bracket, enter. You know, if the number is below 30, it's a good service. If the number is above 30, it's not a good service. So I can right click and I can convert to column formula and carefully observe the answer. Wherever the number was above 30, it's not a good facility or not a good service. Here it is given here. Very simple example. Next one, if I want to find out if the column is having a date or not, we can use this function. That's a logical one. I can just insert a column on the left hand side, is date. Click on OK. I want to check whether the data which is in the ship date column, is it a date or not? So I can write as is date. And here I can select the cell number and I can press enter. If it is date, it will tell us whether it is a date or not. If not, it will give the answer. So let me check what is the answer here. Yes. So I can write as equal to is date and I can select this value. Okay. When I press enter, it says invalid column value. Let me double click and find out. Some mistake would be there. So let me just put a backspace. Right. So when I see the help over here, it says you can include or you can do the nested formula as well. So is date is a function which can be included inside if function. So what I'll do is I'll type as equal to if function is date and then I can select the cell number. So if this cell which I've selected is a date option, I can write as a date. Okay. If not, I'll write as not a date. Close bracket, enter. So you see I'm getting the answer as not a date. So wherever I drag down, I'll obviously get a not a date option. Same way, if I just replace this value with this particular ship date option and press enter. So you see I'm getting the date option here. So instead of this column, if I select this value here, so I'll be getting it's a date option here. So is date is a logical function which can be nested inside another logical function named as if function. Okay. Now, what are the other functions available here? So if I click on these three dots and if I go back here in the logical functions, these are all the different functions available. We have just seen one function which is date, second function if function here, and there are plenty of different functions. You can practice and try it by your own. I hope you have understood about the logical functions. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to sort the data in Smartsheet in a grid view. Now sorting can be done on the entire column, which is very much natural in Excel. But if you want to sort some specific records, you can still do in Smartsheet. Let us see an example. I have the data which you have seen in the previous video. Carefully observe. I have the data related to sales and marketing, row ID, order ID, customer name, segment, city, and so on. I have a column on the right hand side. If you see, if I just scroll on the right hand side, there's a column named as profit. Let me drag it on the first or second position here. Now this is the profit column. Now this profit column is neither sorted in ascending or descending order. But if I want to sort the entire column, I can just click on the three dots on the top of this column. And here I have the option sort rows. Carefully observe, whenever you see three dots in front of any command, there is a dialog box which is going to open. So if I click on sort rows option here, I can sort data based on one criteria. It says you can sort items by profit in ascending or descending order. So let me select the option based on descending order. So the most profitable record or the customers should be seen on the top. When I click on OK, now carefully observe, the highest profit which I've received is 8300. It's almost 8400. And if I go down, the profit will keep on going in negative part. If I want in ascending order, the same thing, click on this drop down, sort in the ascending order. That is one option. Suppose if I want to do multiple sorting or nested sorting, let me show you an example. I have the column named as customer name and city. So suppose if I want to sort this column, let me move my cursor here. So there's a column named as city. So if I sort this column city based on alphabetical order, okay, that's the ascending order, click on OK. Now carefully observe, these are all the names of cities in that US state over here. Now in that city column, I also want to see the customer names in ascending order. So then I'm asking two conditions. First is city in ascending and then the customer name in ascending. I can click on the same dots over here and I can click on sort rows. Before I do that, carefully observe, the customer name is not sorted in ascending or descending order. However, I can just go to sort rows option and I can tell them the condition, the customer name should be sorted based on descending order, or let's say ascending order. So whatever names are here, if you see this name is here at the bottom, it will come on the top. Now when I click on OK, this is what you call AND condition and I can click on OK button. Now this was the city name given the highest preference. In that city, these are the customer names sorted in ascending order. So this way you can manage it. Next one, if I want to sort some specific records, not all the records. So how do I do that? So carefully observe. So I have this profit column in the ascending order. If you observe, I just want to sort first 5 columns. Okay. So first of all, let me sort in descending order. Then I can show you sort in descending. First of all, this is the descending order. Now in the top 10 records, I just want to see in ascending order, something different I'm doing right now. So let me select the first 10 columns from here using shift click. And after I do the shift click option, I can right click. Let me select the first 10 records. Then I can simply right click on this row heading and there's an option given as sort rows. So remember, this 2504 will come on the top if I do by ascending order. From 11th record, this 2400 will remain as it is. So if I click on sort, and now I can select the option sort based on profit by ascending order. Now when I click on OK, carefully observe, this 2400 is it as it is. It has not changed the position. But here the values are starting again from the ascending order. You see 2504. So in the entire column can be done, but one more advanced feature which I can say is few columns can also be, in fact few rows also can be sorted in Smartsheet. So I hope you have understood these two topics in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see about the filter topic in Smartsheet. We'll see many things related to filtering the data. We'll see how to create a filter, edit a filter, delete a filter, copy a filter. These 4 are the basic operations. But along with that, we'll also see how to save a filter for future reference purpose. Let us see that. First thing, how do I filter the data? I have the data belonging to all the regions. I have East region, Central, South and West region. Suppose if I want to display this data to one of the client which is from Central region, so I can just click on this drop down over here and here is the option filter. I can click on filter option and this is the window or the dialog box which I'll be getting. Here what I can do is I can select the option region is one of the selected values. I will select the option here as Central. I can do multiple selections as well. Now here what I can do is I can just click on apply button. Now this filter has been added and you can see only Central region related data is visible. Now what I can do is carefully observe, this is the unnamed filter. If I want to clear the filter, what is the method? I can click on this drop down and here there's a small delete button which will come. You see this is the delete button over here. I can delete that filter here. Okay, right now it is unnamed filter. Let us try one more time. Click on this drop down, filter option, and here I want to select region given as East. For time being is the East region. But I want to save this filter by some name. Let me rename this option as East region data. So East region data is the filter type. Carefully observe, this filter button name would be replaced by East region here. Now when I click on OK button or when I click on apply button, the data is filtered for East region and here you see East region data. Now suppose if you want to remove the filter for time being, for temporary purpose, click on this drop down and you can just select the option filter off. Now you see all the data is visible here. It's very easy to quickly filter, save the filter and show the filter as well. I can click on this place and I can show you East region filter data. So it will come back here. If you do not want, we have seen how to delete. But if you want to modify or edit the existing filter, click on this drop down and here there's a edit button. When you click on that edit button, there's a pencil icon. Here you can do some changes over here. And let's say you can also do nested filtering, that I want region equal to East, and in that as well, that category equals to technology, something you can write. So let me select the option category is one of the technology. So two conditions also you can match over here, technology, and you can just click on OK. So you see East region and only technology related data is visible. And you saw that if you want to clear filter, you can just filter off. If you think a new filter can be added again from start, you can again click on new filter option. Okay. So these are very basic and simple operations related to filter. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see about the logical filtering part. Previous video, we have covered the basic filter, creating, editing, deleting. Now in this video, we'll see about the logical, which is AND operator and OR operator. These are two operators we can see. Now first of all, what I've done is, in the previous example, I have applied the filter. Let me clear that filter from here. Click on this drop down and I can just select the option filter off. This filter has been cleared. Now first condition is, I have two conditions here. One is the profit is, let's say, above 3000. Okay, the profit should be above 3000 and the sales also should be above 3000. These two conditions are mandatory. Okay, how do I apply that filter? This is AND condition. So when you click on this drop down and if you click on this filter button here, carefully observe, shows all the rows that match all the condition. Okay, carefully observe, this all conditions stands for AND operator, AND. If I click on all conditions, this will become as OR condition, which is at least one condition. So when you click on this button, it will shuffle, it will switch between the places. So I can tell them if the profit value is greater than, and I can write the value as 3000, and same way I can write as, let's say, the sales value is greater than, and I can mention the value here, 3000. So now all conditions means AND operator. When I click on apply, carefully observe, these are the sales and profit which are above 3000, compulsory above 3000. Now if you think this is AND condition not required, any one condition will work out. So what you can do is click on this drop down again and you can edit the filter from here. Instead of all conditions, I'll say at least one condition should be satisfied. So the volume would be huge. Okay. When I click on apply and carefully observe, it has given any one condition satisfying that data. Okay. So the data obviously is huge and you can use it. So depending upon your requirement, you can use this AND and OR logical operations. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll take our filtering topic to next level here. We'll see about the advanced filtering topic. We have filtered the data based on the data available here. Okay. But we have not done any filtering topic based on the data as an attachment, as an image file, as a PNG file, nothing like that. So same thing we'll see in this video, how to filter your data having the attachments or filtering data where comments or conversations are applied there. Let us see that. On the left hand side of the screen, if you see, we have the attachments, comments and conversations. So currently I do not have any attachments over here. What I'll do is I'll purposely attach some documents, some PNG file. Carefully observe here. How do I attach? Click on this plus sign and here I can just click on attach files to row number 3 and I can just click on upload file. I'll pick up any one image from here. Let's say Apple. Click on OK. And that's it. So this is one attachment which I've done. Same way, I'll pick up some more records, attach some PDF file maybe. So upload a file and I'll attach a PDF file over here. Carefully observe, that's a minutes of meeting.pdf. Now, these are two PDF files which are attached. Same way, if I also want to add a conversation, we have seen how to do that. I can just click on this plus sign over here and I can just write here I can tag some person over here and I can write as kindly have a look. Okay, so that's the data which I've written. Kindly have a look over here. And then I can just click on send button here. So whatever conversations are happening, they are getting recorded here and there's a small icon visible. Let me also attach some file. I think the previous one didn't get attached. Attach file. I can just upload random PDF file over here. Right. So you see pre-launch webinar.pdf. It's taking some time, but it will be launched. And one more, and the last one, I can add some comment over here and I can write as hello. So now these are whole data prepared over here. Now let us see the next topic here. What is we are talking about? Filtering data based on attachments. I can just click on this drop down and I can click on new filter option here. Now, first thing I can say show rows that match all conditions. So if I click on this drop down and you see the first option is given as row option. When I click on this row option and here something new will come. Row is not a column name. Remember, row is not a column name. But here if you observe, the first column is row ID. So this is the row ID which is given over here. When I select the row option, here I'm getting some different options. For example, the first one has attachment and does not have attachment. You see the first two options. Third and fourth option has comments, does not have comment. So let's start with the first one, has attachments. And when I click on OK, carefully observe, there are three attachment icons. When I click on apply, only those records having the attachments would be visible. Now, second one, I can click on this new filter option and I can tell them that I want to see those having only comments. Okay, only comments that row. Carefully observe, there's a huge possibility that you might forget this option which is row. So when I click on apply button, so this will only show me those records having the conversations or comments. Now, what is my job over here? Just to rename the filter because unnamed filter is not a good idea. So I can just click on this edit button on the top of this option and here I can write as having comments and then click on apply. Same way I can create one more filter and I'll say as having attachments. Then I can select row option from here has attachments, click on apply. So what happens is if you are not there in the company, if you're sharing this report with other users, at least they'll understand what exactly is the filter all about. Having comments, having attachments or East region data here. So that's it about the advanced filter. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to insert an image inside Smartsheet. Inserting image with hyperlink. Now, image makes a difference. Okay, a photograph, a PNG file, it shows some data, some product name, some company name itself. What I'll do is I'll create one empty column over here and try to insert the images in cell. So to create a column, I can just click on three dots, insert a column on the left hand side, this place. Let me write down the column name as image. Okay. And here I can just click on OK. This column is entirely blank. Nothing is there over here. So what I can do is I can select that particular cell and on top of this place, if you observe here on this three dots, here is the image icon. This is the option for image icon. Now when you click on this image icon, this will obviously ask you where do you have the image? Do you have in your desktop or do you have in some other location? So I'll try to upload a file which is kept on my desktop somewhere. So let me open the folder. Right. So these are all the images, some random images I've picked up from here. Let me pick up here, let's say this one, Apple. Again, I can select and I can just click on open. So you see this image would be inserted. Obviously the size would be smaller, but carefully observe. Yeah, this would be the smaller size. I can rearrange the column width and the row height as well. That's possible here. So for every record, you can keep on adding images. Now, why should we add images? It can be a product name, it can be client name, it can be client logo, anything. So one more time, I can click on this three dots on the top, click on insert image, upload a file, and I'll pick up some other image. Okay, this one, let's say Amelia, and that's it. So this image has been added here. Obviously, you can reduce the size of this, width itself or the column height itself. Anything you can change it. So the more you increase, it will expand. Right. Now, there's one more thing. After adding the images, suppose if you want to insert a hyperlink. For example, let me add one more and I can show you the right example. What I'll do is I'll quickly add an image of Facebook here. So that's a Facebook logo. And now any person who clicks on this Facebook icon should jump to facebook.com. If someone clicks on LinkedIn logo, it should jump to linkedin.com. For that, what I need to do is I have to find out the URL for Facebook. So Control A, I just copied the URL of Facebook, and here I can simply select this option. Okay, I can simply select, and there's an option given as image. That's the name of this link over here. But if you want to insert an hyperlink, right click on that image, and there's an option given as insert hyperlink. When you click on this option, the shortcut is Control K. Remember, Control K is a shortcut. You have to paste the URL of facebook.com over here. I can just press Control V from my keyboard and click on OK. Now, carefully observe, the image has been structured into a link over here. When you click on that link, facebook.com page will open. I repeat, let me close this window. If I click on this link, facebook.com page will open here. That's very simple. I'll close it quickly. Now, when you keep your cursor on that link over here, the person will quickly understand where are you navigating. It understands it's a Facebook square.png. Instead of that, you can give some technical name. You can guide users what this will navigate to. So I can press Ctrl K from my keyboard, and here this is the display text. And here I can mention, let's go to social media account. Any text you can mention. When you click on OK, now instead of going on that place, you can see that's a display text. Okay. Now when I keep my cursor over here, let me decrease the size. When I keep my cursor over here, you see what's given here. Let's go to social media account. So it will not mention as facebook.com, but it will just click on this place and it will jump to facebook.com. So you can mask the name, you can mask the image, and the person will be navigated to that place. Okay, it's very simple. So these are some options about inserting the image with hyperlink in Smartsheet. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see the topic related to cell referencing. If I want to refer one cell to another cell from one sheet to another sheet, how do I do that? It's very simple. If you remember in Excel, we used to type as equal to and then select the cell where you want to jump. We can do it in a similar fashion in Smartsheet. What I'll do is I have two separate grid view inside Smartsheet, and I want to connect them together so that any changes made in the first sheet would be reflected in the second sheet. Let us see an example. First of all, I can show you what data I have. I have two sheets which I want to connect together. These are all the sheets which I've prepared. I have a file named as Smartsheet new, which is a functions data new. Let me go back over here. Yes. So there's one file or one sheet, I can say functions data new. That's one file. And second file which I have, or second grid view, is the superstore data new. It's somewhere down. I can just scroll down here. Right. So you see sample superstore new and there's a function data new. These are two sheets over here. I want to link between both of them. You see functions data new and superstore data new. I have opened this both the files. You see functions data new and superstore new. In this functions data new, the data is very limited. What I want is I just want to copy some data from that previous file or previous sheet into this place. So let me show you what data I want to copy. I want cell number, which is profit column, and this is the value. Okay, 2500. If any changes made in this cell should be reflected in the other sheet itself. How do I do that? Very simple. Remember profit column, and that's a 2504. Name of the file is sample superstore new. That's the name of the file, sample superstore new. So to do that, I can just keep my cursor over here, click on this. Let me expand the screen. Yeah, I can click on this link, and here is the link option. So this link option is used for link cell data from other sheets. When I click on this link, I have to remember name of the file from where I need to import data. Name of the file is sample superstore new. Okay, which is not updated. I can just click on cancel. I have to save the file because the name has been changed. It should be updated. So let me save the file over here. Right. So now I can just go back again, click on three dots, click on the cell link, and here this is a sample superstore. Now what I can do is I can select this profit column, which is 2504. That's a value over here. Let me just show you that data. Profit column 2504, and I can just click on create link option. Create link, when I do that, the data from that cell would be copied over here, and that's 2504. Now, if I go back to that particular sheet, if I make some changes, and if I write my name over here, let's say Pavan Lalwani. After doing that, make sure you save the file. Control S is a shortcut for saving the file. After the changes are done over here, to reflect on this place, it will take few seconds. What we can do is, we can just keep our cursor and just press Ctrl S from my keyboard, or I can just save it. It is not reflected very quickly, but it will take some few seconds. Let us see. When you do that, carefully observe, it gives a notification that changes have been made to your sheet. You can just click on refresh button. The moment I click on refresh button and carefully observe, 2504 would be updated by the name here. So connection between both the sheets has been done. We have learned so many functions in the previous section. You can apply those functions as well. Sum, average, minimum, maximum. You can write a sum function, copy the data or select the cells from here and get the answers. So why we need to do the cell referencing? Imagine one data gives you detailed record and second sheet gives you a summarized data, kind of a pivot table. You can see the output data over here and you can see record by record in another sheet. Now, one more thing, if you observe, there's a small icon over here. This icon is known as link in. This is the link in icon. And if I go to the previous sheet, this is the link out icon. You see this one? This icon is known as link out. So there's a small icon. Let me zoom the screen. Yeah, very small icon. You remember this link out. So there someone is referring to the other cell here. So if I come back to the other sheet, let me click over here. This is the link in option. Now, if a person wants to know from where the data is flowing, they can just keep the cursor and the data is flowing from sample superstore new. If you want to navigate, if you want to jump to that particular sheet, just click on this link. It will navigate to that place. From here, you can modify any data if you want and you can refer some other cell. For time being, I can just click on cancel button. I hope you have understood how to work on cell referencing in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see about the activity log. Whatever transactions you have done, whatever changes you have made in the sheet, anyone, not only you, but anyone in the Smartsheet will get a step-by-step detailed record who has done at what time and what changes. Where do we get the option? On the extreme right hand side, if you see, that's the option which is given as activity log. When you click on this link over here, a small icon, this dialog box comes. It's very useful. If you want to do a version history, if you want to see what changes have been made, this is the best place. For example, here carefully observe, starting from the top, that's the name of the workbook or the sheet, I can say, sample superstore. Here right now, there are 0 filters applied. Nothing is applied here. So everyone working in the team for this Smartsheet, all the changes would be visible. Let's see what is this. First one, if you observe, attachment added. Someone has added the attachment. Who is the person? The name of the person is Pavan Lalwani. Since I am the only person using it, so my name would be reflected here. When did I do that? Carefully observe. I have done this on 7th September. That's a date and time. Exact history you'll be getting. When you expand this data, you'll get some more details. For which particular record? Pre-launch webinar.pdf. That was the name of the PDF I have launched here. So same way, everything would be recorded. If you view the sheet, if you do some commenting part, carefully observe the comments created. This was the comment someone has written in this place. On which row number? Row number 6. Who has done this? Name of the person. What date it was done. Now suppose if you are interested to filter the data, you don't want to see whole data, but you just want to see who has done what, some attachments. So from here, you can select the option. You just want to see what is the attachment related status. If I select this checkbox, so this checkbox will help you to understand what are the new attachments, revised attachments and deleted attachments. So my job would be just to select the attachments and carefully observe on the top 2, if you see attachments are there, these 2 are related to comments. When I click on this apply button, this apply button will only filter and show me attachments related changes. One more example. I just want to see who has done the commenting part. Okay, so let me see where are the comment option. This is the comment option. When I click on comments option and if I click on apply, this will tell me comments created. So you can be very specific, understand the changes what are done, maybe attachments or anything. So it's a vast topic over here. I would request you to go through all the topics one by one. This will be useful in the long run. Now, if you're very specific that from this particular date to that particular date, between that period, what are the changes made? So you have a filter over here which says as date range, start date and the end date. You can see those date range option and you can filter the data. Now, if you think you want to be specific about a person, you have the name of the person. From this drop down, what you can do is you can just type the name over here and this will filter the data based on that person's activity. So you can track this person has opened sheet how many times. I was working for one of the company in Dubai where I've done the project part. They wanted to find out who has opened this particular sheet how many times. The person who has opened the sheet was not relevant to that project. However, by using this method, we came to know what are the activities done by that person. And we came to know, and that was the root cause of the problem in the company. This is one example which I have faced in real time, but you can track this with the help of this name itself. So right now I can just click on close button. Now all the activities, if you want to see and if you want to download those activity, here is the option for download. When I click on download option and carefully observe, this will convert into some file format which you accept will be downloaded. For time being, I can just click on cancel and click on close. That's it. So I hope you've understood how to work on the activity log in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back to the new video in automation. Here in this video, we'll see how to create a first automated workflow in Smartsheet. Till now, whatever manual activities you are doing in Excel or any other tool, that can be completely automated. To start with, I'll give a simple example. Suppose if I do some attachment, if I attach any document, it can be PNG, it can be PDF. What I want is a status column should be updated. It can be a checkbox, it can be a drop down, anything. So let me first define that workflow. Let me create some columns over here and then you'll understand. What I can do is I can just create a column on the left hand side, give the name of the column as has attachments. Since it's the first video, I'll try to show you some basic example. Select this checkbox and then click on OK button. These are all the checkboxes. So the question which is for the checkboxes is, does this particular record have some attachments? So right now nothing is selected, that means no attachments. I want to define a workflow. If I attach a document, this checkbox should be automatically selected. This one small example. Now, how do I automate this process? If you go to this file menu bar, if you see, if I minimize this option, here is the automation menu bar next to the file menu bar. The two options which you see on the top, these are the main options available in workflow. Okay, creating a workflow and managing workflow. The other options at the bottom, these are some suggested workflows, or I can say as popular workflows. We'll see how to create from scratch. Remember the question, if I attach a document over here, this checkbox should be automatically selected. First we'll define, let's go to automation menu bar, create a workflow, a dialog box will appear. This dialog box might be new for you, so with practice, with examples, you'll be comfortable. There are two things you have to remember. One is why this workflow is getting triggered, why it is getting activated. And second is, after it is getting activated, what is the action you expect? Two things. So one is the input and second is the output. I can give a trigger condition that when the rows are added or changed, these are four options. Have a look on these options. When the date is reached, when the rows are added, when rows are changed, or when rows are added. In this case, when the rows are changed, I can say this one added or changed. Now, which field should change? There are so many fields available, multiple columns. I will tell them when the attachment column, carefully observe, when the attachment column is added, I will deselect the change option. If someone is adding the attachment column, then what has to be done? Then this action has to be applied. I want the column which is a checkbox column should be selected automatically. So when I scroll down, there are plenty of actions available. It's an automation workflow. So one is notify. Do you want to notify someone? We have nothing to notify. Second is sheet changes. Do you want to modify the sheet? These are the options. Then if you see at the bottom, sheet to sheet workflows, different sheets were working with this. So in this case, I'll be interested in the sheet changes. So I want a change in cell value. You see, this is the option which I want. When I select this option, it will ask me, you want a change in cell value, but which column, which value should be selected? So the column name which I want is has attachments. So from this drop down, I can tell them there is a column whose name is has attachments. This one. In this has attachment column, I want the checkbox should be selected. That should be checked. That is what I want here. So I repeat once again, carefully observe. When should be the trigger condition? Whenever some person is attaching a document. You see, this is the option. What should happen if a person is attaching? The has attachment column should be checked. That's the thing here. So I can just write the name of the workflow, attachment workflow. So I've just written the name and I can just click on save button over here. That's it. So the workflow is saved at the backend and here it is visible, attachment workflow, the trigger condition and the action condition here. So now you can create plenty of workflows. You can create thousands and thousands of workflow in Smartsheet. Very simple tool and very easy to create. So let us see when I close this option. Now all the checkbox are deselected. What I'll do is I'll try to attach a document in, let's say, row number 5. When I attach a document, I have to refresh or save the file. Then this checkbox will be automatically selected. Let us proceed. So first thing, I can just click on this plus sign, attach to row number 5. From here, you see, I can attach files to row number 5, upload, and I'll just upload one PDF file. It's a kickoff planning. You see, that's a kickoff planning to 25 KB. If the size of the file is bigger, it will take more time. So I'll just double click and select the file. Now, on the right hand side, if you observe, the file is getting attached over here. And here, if you observe, the attachment icon will be visible very soon. Now, when it is done, carefully observe, that's the attachment icon. Now, I'll be getting a notification on top of this window asking me to refresh. The workflow is activated and you can refresh the browser to do that. You see, it has automatically refreshed. So you see this checkbox is selected. Very simple. Attachment can be of any type. Excel, CSV, PDF or image. Let us see one more. I can attach to row number 8. Let me click on this button over here. I can attach a file, let's say a PNG file this time. So I have the document kept onto the desktop in some folder, random folder I can pick up here. And I can pick up some image. Now that image is added. You see on the right hand side, the image is added. I'll just focus over here. The moment I get the attachment icon, within few seconds, this workflow will get activated and here the checkbox should be selected. Let's wait for a few seconds. And you see what has happened. This checkbox has been selected automatically. So this was a very, very simple example of creating a workflow. I'll take you to the advanced level of workflow as well, where you can automate your entire work and create some complex conditions as well. For time being, I hope you understood how to create the workflow, the first workflow in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see the second type of workflow in Smartsheet. Now, this is a very basic scenario. Suppose there are team members working in the company and a person is doing some changes in Google Sheet or Excel sheet in a SharePoint, any data source. When they change that data source, when they update that, they usually give a call to a person, WhatsApp the person or send a mail that I have done so and so notification. Please go and check the data set or do some changes on that. This is a manual process. You can automate this work. Suppose you modify some record in Smartsheet, an email will automatically go to that person, relevant person in the organization. And you don't have to call, WhatsApp or mail that person. The person will understand a mail notification plus he or she will get a notification over here. So that is something what we're going to do is alert someone based on the task assigned. Let us create a workflow here. So now number 1, I can create an automation workflow. I can go to automation, create a workflow here. Now this dialog box will come. The same thing what we have seen in the previous example. When the rows are added or changed, any new changes or existing changes. This is the trigger condition. Which field? I'll tell them any field, not only one column, but any field. Now, when this kind of changes are occurred, what should happen? There should be an alert email sent to the relevant person. What I can do is, this is the option. Carefully observe, these are the notification. Different type of notifications are there. One is the alert someone. Second is using the Microsoft Teams. They have a very good integration with Microsoft products. There's an alert a Slack channel over here. And also there are some updates and requests. In this case, we have 3 options. The below 2 options may not be available with everyone. So I'll go with the first option. So how do you alert? Whom should you alert here? So I told them send to specific people here. So that's my name which is given. So let me see the email ID. That's the email ID here. So I can write the other email ID. So if any changes have occurred, you notify this person. That's the email ID. And along with that, send a good message over there. So what is the message? I can just click on customize option. So for time being, I think I'll not customize. I'll keep it as it is. And then very simple. So one is triggering the change and second is sending a message. Now I can just click on save button and that's it. Close the dialog box. So that's the second trigger which is there, second automation workflow. Now I can just click on close button here. Now carefully observe. Let me open my email box first of all. And that's my email box here. Right. So in this email box, nothing is there. You see no messages are there right now and nothing is given here. We have those messages. But now what we'll do is, if I just select this checkbox, you see requirement number 10, I'll just select this checkbox. So I have made some changes in this Smartsheet. What will happen is the workflow will get activated. I'll make sure I'll save it on the safer side. I have just selected this checkbox. Along with that, what I'll do is I will just modify this as audit. 2 changes I've done. I will scroll down and add some new records over here. Let me scroll down and let me add it something over here, campaign strategy, and I'll write as in progress and new task. And I'll make sure I'll save this file. Now after saving this, I have made many changes. Let us go to my email over here and let me refresh. Within few seconds, I'll be receiving an email that so and so person has modified that record, and that's the notification. We have to wait for some seconds. Now you can see it took me some 60 to 120 seconds between that, and you can see I have received a notification that Pavan Lalwani via Smartsheet, and this is the email which I've received. So whatever changes you do, you'll get a notification automatically. If I click on this place and you see whatever changes I've made, 4 rows added or updated here, and these are all the changes which are visible. Checkboxes, new requirement which I've selected. You see that's a new task which is automatically done. It took me a while, let's say 120 seconds maximum, but I received the notification. So remember, this process can help you reduce your time in communication. Okay, you don't have to spend time. You just teach Smartsheet one time and it will notify not only one person but different people in your organization based on the task you assign. So that's very simple example. We'll see some more examples in the coming video. But I hope you understood how to alert one person based on the cell value change in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see how to modify already existing workflow which you have created in Smartsheet. We have seen 2 workflows, but we are just breaking it in between just to modify the data. Anytime if you make a mistake, no problem. You can always go back, change this workflow, provided you have the permissions. You should be the creator or the owner of that sheet, only then you can do it. Now, whatever workflows I've created, I can just go to automation and here is the option manage workflows. There are 2 workflows which I've created. Remember, whenever there are 3 dots, a dialog box is going to appear. So if I click on this option, now you can see these are the 2 workflows which are assigned. First workflow, I was very punctual. I written it properly. Alert when an assigned rows changes. But the second workflow, I forgot to give a name. Purposely, I've done that. I can always go back here. If I click on the small button, these are some options available where I can edit, delete, disable and duplicate. Let me click on the edit option. And here on the top, what I can do is I can just write here, let's say automated workflow for notification. And now I can just click on save button. So name have been changed, and when I click on save button, I can just click on close, save and close. See, now the name has been changed. Now also not only the name, but you can also do some internal changes. For example, I don't want to notify on an email. I just want to notify on Microsoft Teams or Slack. So I can just click on this drop down, edit this option. Carefully observe the alerting options can be modified anytime. So I can click on this drop down and these are some other options. Let me scroll down again. Send to specific people. Okay, relevant people only you have to send. What are the changes made? Send to all the contacts in the cell. Okay, whatever cell contacts you have. Send to everyone, share to the sheet. Whoever is having this sheet access, viewer, editor, any access. And the last 2 options are related to Microsoft Teams and Slack. These are some different communication channels. That is one option. Now, if you think this is not a good idea, we have to completely remove it. You can click on this drop down and you can change the action here. When you change the action, again, you'll get list of all the options from where you can choose. So these are different options I can pick up here. So what I can do is I can also clear cell value, lock rows, unlock rows. We can do some changes. For time being, I'll not go into that please. Now, on the top, if you see, whenever you see this options for modifying, let's say this drop down, any option can be changed, any field, this also can be changed. Here in the next coming videos, we'll see how to add the condition to this filter rows options. For time being, these are the modification options. So I can click save and close. Right. Now the other options which I have on the right hand side, if I just click on this drop down, the other options are disable. Then we have edit, duplicate and delete. Delete will permanently delete this workflow. Duplicate will create a copy of this workflow, and disable option. Workflow would be there, but it would be disabled. Like you have done a lot of notifications for different people. Now they are like irritated, frustrated, and you just want to disable. Maybe they are on a holiday, you want to disable this option. So anytime you can just disable this option, workflow would be there, but it would be grayed out. You cannot do any changes in that. Okay. That won't be activated. So I can just go back and enable the feature. These are some workflow related options where you can modify. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video. Welcome back. Let us see one more automation workflow in Smartsheet. Now, this is a very specific example related to workflow. Whenever some changes are happening in the sheet, let's say if I do some addition of records or if I modify any record, what I want is the relevant person should get information. It could be a task information or the status information. I want that data which is present over here to be sent to that colleague, and I can customize the message. Imagine we are creating an Outlook message. We are sending an email to 1,000 people and we are being very specific, like hi Robert, hi Rakesh, hi Patrick. These names can change always. So we can define this task in a specified email as well. Let us see that example. So the question here is, when I modify, the person should get the status and the task in an email body. For every person, different email. So I can just go to automation, create a workflow. Now the workflow would be simple. When any changes are being made in that data set, you see, when any rows are added or changed, any field, I want to notify a person. We have seen the previous example, alert someone. But when I click on alert someone, this is the message, customize message. Here I can tell customize message that in the subject line, the person should understand what is the task, not just hi everyone, or I don't have to write here the task assigned. I am very specific about the task. So I can write as in double brackets. Remember, let me maximize the size. So here, whenever you write in the double curly brackets and the name of the column, this is the name of the column which I have, task. Okay. And here I can write as task assigned, colon. So task assigned will be a fixed value, but this curly brackets, 2 times curly brackets will be modified with every new record. And here I can write as hi. And I can just write as this is status, colon, curly bracket status, and I can, this is task, right? So this is the customized message I'm writing here. And I just want to send a message only. The other options are there, link to sheets and all fields, links to sheet and specific fields. These are like your hyperlinks, allowing or helping the users to navigate to that page. In this case, I just want a simple customized message here. So this is the status. This would be dynamic values here. Now I'll just save this, close this. I can just save this option, close this one, save and close. I did not give the name of that workflow. So let me just go back again, edit, and let me give the name as customized message. And let me see the email ID over here. Right. And I can just click on save button here. Now please observe here, when I click on this option, this name would be changed over here. Now, what I'll do is I will just add here some data set. Let's say the status would be as blocked, and here I'll write as no marketing due to COVID. Okay. So this is the task which I've assigned, no marketing due to COVID. So the person has to send an email, notify all the users to stop the marketing immediately because of this reason. And I'll just click on save button. I'll also modify this thing, which is launch something, Control S, save for my keyboard. Now I have to open my email box. Carefully observe. This is the task, no marketing due to COVID, and that's a status. This is the data which will be sent to the user. It will usually take 120 seconds, 60 to 120 seconds to get the email. So I can just go back here, refresh my browser, and we'll just wait for the mail to come. Right. So you can see on my screen, that's the updates which I've received. And if I click on this link, And if you see task assigned, no marketing due to COVID. This was actually a value in the column. If you see no marketing due to COVID. If I go back here, this is the same text which has been received. And you remember the status which is blocked. If I go back to the email, if I open this one and you see this is the status blocked. This is the task no marketing due to COVID. So you can be very specific, alert the person what exactly is the task. The person does not have to come back to Smartsheet to understand what the requirement. So you can customize the message and give it the updates here. So I hope you have understood how to customize message and create a workflow in Smartsheet. That's all for this video. Welcome back. In this video, we'll see a very interesting workflow in Smartsheet. Now this would be a next level of workflow. Now imagine you have 5 different teams working in your organization: HR, marketing, sales, then front end and the operations. Whenever a task comes in the company, that work has to be assigned to the relevant team. If the data is related to marketing like Facebook and Instagram, social media marketing, then it should go to the marketing team. If the thing is related to sales, it should go to sales team. If the work is related to salary, leaves, then it should go to the HR team. Same way, this example is related to exactly what I said. We have a category column assigned over here. These are different categories which are present. So plenty of them are there, but we'll just take 3 examples: analyze, audit, and campaign strategy. So whenever a work related to analyze comes, there should be some other person analyzing the data. Second one, audits, some other person, and campaign strategy, some other person should be there. So now whenever the data is been filled here, I don't have to call each and every person to tell them just check the sheet, you have got the data. No, I will just update the sheet and Smartsheet will automatically send the email to those relevant people. Let us see how. So I can just go to automation and here I can create a workflow from scratch. Remember, name of the column was category. So when any rows are added or changed, anything are changed over here, any field, it can be any field, but my condition, this is the condition over here. My condition is based on the category column. So I can just click on add a category. I can select the column named as category. When the category value is analyze, remember when the category value is analyze, I want X person to receive an email. So this will be alert someone, and let's say my name is given over here. That's an email ID. So this person should be alerted. But this is only for one category. See, that's a condition, only one category analyze. What about the other 2 conditions? For other 2 conditions, I can click on plus sign and I can add a condition path. Okay, please see here condition path. Now this is for category analyze. I will go for here. I'll just select category would be for audit. If category is for audit, a separate workflow is going, it's working parallelly over here. So now I can select the option, alert someone. This time don't alert this person, alert someone else. Let's say I can select other name. I can put a backspace and I can select the name as Nikhil Shah. Okay, this is the person who should be notified. So when analyze category, this person should be notified. When audits, Nikhil Shah should be notified. I told you about 3 conditions. The third condition, I can click on this button. I will add one more condition path and this condition would be, let me minimize. Yeah. So here I can select the field from here. I can select category, alert someone. So you see I've selected the option category. I can select from here campaign strategy and I want to alert someone. By the way, not only alert someone, you can define some other action as well. Update a cell, alert someone, anything you can pick up. Here I'm keeping same thing everywhere. So now when I select the option, I don't want to specify this person. I want to specify someone else. Let's say this one. And that's it. So these 3 conditions I've defined. Now what I'll do is I will pick up here, let's say analyze option. And obviously I don't have all 3 email IDs active with me. But when a new data set has been modified, email will go to the relevant person. Now I can just click on save button here. Now let us go back when I click on save button. So here it says 1 or more recipients are blocked. So this would be activated only when you are allowing them users to work on Smartsheet. So in this case, I have to just modify some other name. I can select some other name from here. Right. So let me delete this option and I can pick up some other name. And I can just click on save button. So this way I can keep on adding different categories option. And this case, I won't save the option here. So remember, those should be the members of your team. Those should be assigned to the Smartsheet as an owner or editor, some process. And at the backend, you can define. Now, when I come back over here, remember, whenever I change any category value from here, email will go to the relevant person, not to everyone, not to specific person. So this is very interesting topic, which is creating automated workflow specified to specific person based on category. I hope you have understood. That's all for this video.